fun entry over the hill and then a technical infield. You know, I can't wait to put on a great show with the rest of the European drivers.
How do you find the European drivers? I mean, it's a different crowd for you. We know a lot of European drivers have made the break into FD, but how do you see these guys that are making their way up for the ranks?
I mean, these guys got the influence. So I'd say they learned from James, and, you know, they're all pushing to be at that level, and I'd say these guys are up there with the best. So I'm really excited to get out there and compete with them tomorrow.
Well, dude, listen, we can't wait to see your style and your flair out there. We wish you all the best, man. Hountondji, you're currently sitting 7th in the championship, in the Drift Masters European Championship. How are you feeling coming to Ireland for the final round?
Excited, super excited, man. Ireland, place to be for drifting, isn't it, in Europe somehow?
Exactly.
So many first times might be happening this weekend. First time for us for sure on this track. Loving it, it's insane. You have to go so committed into that first turn. Mondello, this weekend, coming for you.
Carney, you're a wild card into the final round of the Drift Masters European Championship. How does it feel, more importantly, to bring your ex-FD car, this amazing Dodge Viper, back home and drive in front of a home crowd here at Mondello Park?
Yeah, this is a car that's been definitely in the talks about coming to Mondello for the last 3 years, and to finally have it here, I tell you what, as soon as I came in over the crest of the hill yesterday for the first time, I was like, woohoo, like this is actually after happening. So yeah, it's absolutely awesome to be obviously here with this car, and just the support for it, like, and everybody's interest in the car is amazing. So hopefully it's going to be a fun day tomorrow, and we can hopefully put on a show with the car and enjoy the day if the weather gods are good to us.
Well, dude, listen, it's an absolute honour to have you here. Good luck, man. Grzegorz Hipki, you're currently 2nd in the Drift Masters European Championship. You got a lot of people hunting you down as we come into the final round. How do you feel?
I feel good, and I stay in 2nd place. My car is prepared. Here it's fast. You have a lovely place for drifting. This track is perfect.
Well, listen, you look good out there. I mean, some of the practice runs we've seen you put in over this weekend have been phenomenal. We wish you all the best of luck. And listen, we know that you're a very good driver, so we know you're going to hold on to that 2nd spot. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Adam Zaleski, you're currently 3rd in the Drift Masters European Championship 2018. To jump into 2nd place, which I know you desperately want to do, you've come from no points at the first round. You're now in 3rd, lucky, but to get to 2nd, you got to go through your good friend and fellow countryman, Grzegorz Hipki. How'd you feel?
Yeah, he's my big friend. I want to fight with him on the track. Maybe pass him, but it will be really hard. And yeah, the track is crazy. The first corner is like totally blind, you can't see anything. But then you need to go full throttle all the time, and your head says no, don't do this, and everything. But you need to make it somehow. But yeah, everything is okay with the car, and I'm really happy.
Well, listen, we watched you yesterday in practice, and you looked unbelievable. So we wish you all the best of luck. Good luck, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. James Dean. You got the championship in the bag, that's done and dusted, that story's finished. This story for this weekend in Mondello Park is all about the Championship Cup. Poland currently leading Ireland in the points, but not only that, there potentially is a 15-year streak undefeated that I know that you don't want to be taken down. How are you feeling coming into the final round, Drift Masters?
It's absolutely awesome to be back in Ireland, first of all. It's been a year since I drove here, and I absolutely love coming back to the Jackfest event, meeting all the Irish fans, and the support they give me when I'm competing in Europe and the States is incredible. So I'm here, you know, obviously there's a lot of pressure on. It's the biggest lineup of drivers Ireland has ever seen, so there's a lot at stake, but for me, I'm just really having fun driving the car, trying to go as hard as I can every single time, and yeah, I just want to put on a show, and hopefully we can get the Ireland back onto the top of the Nations Cup, so fingers crossed.
Well, listen, you look on form. We wish you all the best of luck, James Dean. Good luck, man. Take it easy. Well, the atmosphere in the pits is electric, the grandstands are getting busy, I'm pumped. It's time to kick off qualifying here at round 6 of the Drift Masters European Championship 2018. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 6 of the Drift Masters European Championship 2018. I am joined by Eddie Power in the tower. Dave Egan has gone off to take care of some important business. And Eddie, once again, the weather decides to spin it on its head, and it's rained again.
Yeah, it's almost as if every time we stop drifting that the rain starts. So it being top 16, we're going to start a parade and then not stop all the way till the end. But certainly the gods wanting just to add in a little bit of spice to this already hot action-filled day that we're having here in Mondello Park.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the weather hasn't been easy on these guys whatsoever, and it's made some of these decisions for our judges very hard, and we've seen some of our best drivers in the championship get knocked out, slipping off track, some contact. Not the ideal thing, but again, as me and Dave have spoke about many, many times before, it rains, and then 2 minutes later, the sun comes out, and it is exactly doing that right now on the start line. I can see from the tower that the sun's come out, the clouds are breaking. You've been up to the start line. You know how easily the weather changes from us sitting in the tower for getting the rain, and it's dry up there.
The thing about Mondello as well, though, Ian, is down where these guys are starting off, it could be raining down there, and it could be bone dry on track, and the other way around. It's just that type of a venue. And so many times in the past, we have seen big battles decided on that first corner because a little drop of rain just comes down, makes it so greasy. Same thing's happening here this weekend. Will the Irish guys have a little bit of an advantage because of that? Who knows? They're outnumbered, though, in the top 16. Well,
that was just something I was just going to touch on. They are outnumbered. 5 Irish drivers against 11 European drivers. If this isn't a weekend for the streak to be destroyed by a European driver, I don't know what is. I mean, listen, there's never going to be another opportunity for so many European drivers to get inside the top 16 and try and take the streak. Not only that, the cup for the Irish-Polish battle is still in the swing. There's nearly an equal amount of each driver, so it still hangs in the balance.
Look, that one's in the swing, and that's essentially a team or a national pride. But you got to look to Conor Shanahan, you got to look to Adam Zaleski. Those two guys started 4th and 5th in the championship. Their two closest rivals, Hipke and Burkowski, out of competition at top 32, meaning they have a real opportunity to finish on a high here and cement themselves as two of the best drivers in the championship over the course of the season. Shannon already beaten James Dean at the first round. Could he finish on a high, potentially having a chance to do the same thing again and take down Dean? They're only top 16, though. It's a long way to go before we start talking about who's going to take those positions, but certainly something to watch as we progress through each battle.
It certainly is, and like you say, now that those guys are in 2nd and 3rd place have been knocked out of competition, it opens it up. It opens the championship back up again, and it was a story that we spoke about that that 2nd place, Gregor Zipke, he said he was going to stay there. I mean, he's bowed out of competition. He can't do anything about it now. The only person that can make that move is Conor Shanahan and Adam Zaleski. They can kind of jump up the order. You've been doing the maths a little bit, Eddie, and trying to work it out. And
well, I mean, just to go back to Hipke for a moment, Ian, I mean, he went into round 5 in contention for a championship. He's bowed out at the top 32 2 rounds in a row, and, you know, a really poor end to the season for him after being such a dominant force. And I think that's a real, very interesting end to the season for him. Could he now lose that 2nd position? I mean, that would feel like a disaster for him, I think. And
especially for Adam Zaleski, he started the season the opposite way round to what Gregor Zipke is. He had a terrible beginning to the season. So did Pawel Borkowski. Those two guys started the season absolutely terrible, getting nowhere, no points on the board. And then suddenly, round 5, they find themselves sitting in 2nd and 3rd and 4th in the championship. This could be the turn of fate they need. And Zaleski, for me, he looks on form. He looks unstoppable. The run he just put in against Oliver Evans was phenomenal. You just see the speed that he carries through that first term.
Yeah, I mean, you could say, oh, Oliver Evans made a mistake. Why did he make that mistake?
Carrying the speed.
He couldn't match the pace. You look at Zaleski, and we talked earlier on, Ian, and we mentioned about, you know, the mental game. I think at the start of this championship, Zaleski came into it with a target on his back, but also with the pressure of all these champions coming into his championship. Now, with that title being decided and that pressure off, the focus being on James Dean and some of the other drivers, Zaleski's had a chance to grow and really show what he's been capable of without having that additional pressure. And I think we're starting to see another, a future champion in the making again. He's going to be a real contender when we come into the 2019 season, but he's also a contender here at the final round.
He certainly is, and I mean, I'm excited to see where this goes, and I'm excited to see these drivers grow into their own, like you say. I'm ready to kick off a top 16 battle. I don't know if Dave Egan's ready to hand over yet and do the top 16 parade, but I am very, very excited. Well, it sounds like he certainly is. So, Dave Egan, you're down there in front of the grandstand. Give us the battles. Let's go get our top 16 underway.
Ian, thank you very much. We can get some battles underway, but we got some stuff to organize first, and that pretty much is all of you guys, because yesterday we had the loudest crowd in the history of Mondello, and I said, I don't know if today's crowd is going to beat it. I don't know if they have what it takes to be louder. And I'm going to tell you another thing. We've been to 5 countries this year, and I made some promises on your behalf. I said, you think this is loud? You think the Polish fans, the Hungarian fans, the Latvian fans, the German fans? I said, wait till you get to Ireland till you hear these guys go crazy. So one time, Mondello Park, make some noise! There is absolutely no way we're going to send cars after that. Everybody in the grandstand, stand up. You know the routine. Everybody up, shake it off. This is the biggest drift event in European drift history. Mondello Park, make some noise! That is more like it. We are ready to send our top 16 drivers down to this grid. Let's just talk about the statistics right now. On the grid right now, 15 years there's been competitive drifting in Ireland. In that 15 years, an international driver has never won on these hollowed tarmac surfaces. Today, the Irish go in as 5 drivers versus 11 internationals in the top 16. And these internationals have traveled so far to be here, from Sweden, Finland, all over Europe, shipped cars from the United States just to be here in front of all you guys. So when they come down here, we want you to give them a massive ovation. They've come across ferries that were in storms. They've had crashes on the motorway. They have blood, sweat, and tears running down their bodies from trying to get to this event. So Mondello Park, will you please make some noise for your top 16? This is going to be the biggest event you've ever witnessed, the best top 16 action. We need you guys to be live in Mondello Park today. We need you to be ready to cheer your heroes home. Let's see who we got. If you're not from Ireland and you're here this weekend, make some noise. If you're not from Ireland. If you're from Ireland this weekend, make some noise. We are ready to introduce our 16 drivers. They are ready. They are primed. The sun is out. The track is drying. And we are ready to introduce them. We want you guys to make as much noise as possible for each driver. They have waited all year to be here in front of an Irish crowd. And we start with the man that wowed us all season in the Irish Drift Championship. He has come 5 times this year from all the way from Australia. Will you make some noise for the Thunder from down under, Mitch Larner? He will go head to head with the man that has taken home last year's Formula Drift Championship to Ireland, who's taken home this year's European Championship to Ireland. Will you make some noise for the machine, James Dean? Going 8 victories from 9 events so far this year. He is your current and reigning Irish Drift Champion. Make some noise for Duane McKeever! Originally from Hawaii, now residing in Las Vegas, Nevada, shipping his car all the way from the United States. Give it up for Forrest Wang! The youngest winner of a European drift event in history. He's back for history again this weekend. The youngest driver on the grid. Give it up for Shanahan. Representing Team Jap Speed, Maxxis Tires. He is the current and reigning UK British Drift Champion. Give it up for Matt Carter. Making it all to a European final round in a car he built with his own hands in his own shed in Tipperary. Representing Ireland, give it up for Paul McCarthy. One half of the Red Bull Drift Brothers, all the way from Germany, ready to take down the Irish undefeated streak. Give it up for Joe Hountondji. Representing Latvia, he is an ex-Baltic champion, ex-Eastern European champion, ex-European champion. Give it up for Janis Eglite. We call him the Norwegian sledgehammer because this man has hit more doors, more walls than anybody else in this championship. Representing Norway, give it up for Tor-Arne Kvia! And a man showing us all year that there is no quit in drifters. He's rolled this car on its roof. He's taken half the side off it. He's still here at the final. Representing Sweden, give it up for Jim Olofsson! Right beside him, a man that came here 5 years ago. He's back now with more power, more experience, more championships. Representing Poland, give it up for Pawel Trela! Representing Ireland in the top 16 of the final of the Drift Masters Championship. Representing Quinn's M Sport, give it up for Quinn! The other half of the Red Bull Drift Brothers. These guys are coming to take down that 15-year undefeated streak and get themselves right up in the business end of the championship. Give it up for Hountondji! Next up, he is your 2017 Drift Masters European champion at just 18 years of age. Give it up for Zestino Tires, Zaleski! And the current and reigning Finnish champion, also current Drift GP champion. Give it up for Juha Pointtialak! Now this isn't a normal top 16 parade. We've done this a number of times in Ireland. We've done it all around the country, but this is the European Championship. This is the Drift Masters European Championship. These guys are ready to go to war with 15 years of history on the line. Poland and Ireland will go to war for the Drift Masters European Nations Cup right here in the next 2 hours. Now, I've promised everybody in every country that I've been to this year, every country, I said, when we get to Mondello Park, things are going to be different. Because the fans in Ireland are a different breed. We're not embarrassed to scream and shout and support drifting. We get behind this sport. So grandstand, I need every single person on your feet right now. Everybody up on your feet. Grandstand over here, everybody up on your feet. In that grandstand, everybody up. We are going to get one chance at this, ladies and gentlemen, because right now we're not just going to make a cheer. We're not just going to scream. We are going to make the loudest cheer, not only in Ireland, but in the history of the European Championship, right here in Mondello Park. Make some noise! Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going! Can we go louder? Can we go louder? This is the final round. This is what it's all about. This one is for all the marbles. The next 2 hours will be written in history. I'd like everybody here for the last time this year to stay standing for the Irish national anthem. Now, hold on. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere because there's too many people here not participating. You guys over here, you're lagging behind. You guys in that grandstand, and all you guys around Link Engine Management Corner, we're going back at it again. One last cheer to send a shiver down the spine of every driver here. 5 Irish, 11 international, 2 hours to get the job done. Mondello Park, every single person here, make some noise! That leaves me one last thing to say. Boys, get in your cars, because we're ready to go to war. It's the top 16. Start your engines. Eddie, Ian, back to you.
Ian, you know what? 16 of the best drivers. I can't help but be excited. Shivers down my spine watching that introduction from David Egan.
I've lost the words, Eddie. I really don't know what to say. We didn't want to say anything about the stacked grid. Well, we knew it was a stacked grid. We didn't want to say who the battles were. We was going to save it to the top 16 parade. I mean, listen, I've done events all over the UK, all over Europe. I've never, ever witnessed what I've just witnessed. This is going to be an unbelievable top 16. And when Dave says it's going to be an sit on the edge of the seat job, this is it.
Look, you can go anywhere in the world and you can see great battles in drifting in the final 8, the final 4, and the finals. That's a given at this stage. But we are sitting in a top 16 scenario where we have James Dean taking on Mitch Larner. We have Duane McKeever taking on Forrest Wang. We have Conor Shanahan taking on Matt Carter. I don't need to go any further. That's just the first 3 battles. It's only top 16. There's nothing left to say.
All I can say is, if you're at home watching this, you're missing out. You should have got your tickets. You should have come to Mondello Park. You should have experienced this with the thousands of other people that are here in the grandstands, that are 10 deep at the fence, that are standing and cheering with everybody else. It's an unbelievable feeling. It's electric. That's the only way I can describe it. It's absolutely electric.
If you're sitting at home, you might be able to hear these cars hitting off the limiter, but you can't feel exactly what we can feel right now sitting in this tower. The vibration going right from your toes all the way to the tips of the hair on your head. It is crazy, crazy, and I am pumped and ready for this, Ian. I am just so excited. Who's going to win it? I mean, look, you would be a brave man to try and call it. There's a reason why Paddy Power doesn't take bets on drifting.
Well, I mean, listen, there's no way else to describe it, but this is, listen, at home, turn your setup to 100. Prepare for the best top 16 you have ever seen, because we are ready to get things underway. And like you say, the first battle, Eddie, of the day, the first battle in order will be James Dean to take on Mitch Larner. Mitch Larner trying to get that redemption that he's been looking for.
Yeah, look, that opportunity was an opportunity lost for Mitch Larner yesterday. And we spoke yesterday, myself and Dave, about Mitch's, I suppose, attempt to try and get into James Dean's head on Friday in practice, where he posted a video of him all over James in practice. But practice is practice, and James Dean always has that extra 10%. Can Larner now make the adjustment and go one step further and take down James Dean? He has the opportunity within 24 hours.
Now's the opportunity, now's the time. And he wants to move into European drifting next year, Mitch Larner. Mitch Larner saying, if I'm going to get a shot at anything, now's the time to do it. If I take down James Dean, it's a bold statement. It's a big statement. It's a statement that says to everybody else in Europe that is looking to compete in the Drift Masters European Championship next year, I'm going to be there, and this is what I've got, and this is how it goes down. Look at the absolutely packed Mondello Park.
If you want to make a name for yourself on the European stage, there's no better way to do it than to take down a 5-time European champion, a 5-time Irish champion, the current Formula Drift champion, the current Formula Drift points leader, a world record holder, Guinness World Record holder. This is the most decorated man in drifting history. So yeah, if you take down James Dean, you're part of the conversation.
You definitely are part of the conversation. And now, let's get that conversation shut down and find out who is the better driver. On the line, James Dean to take on Mitch Larner, Ireland versus Australia. 5 drivers from Ireland left, Eddie. Could we see him get whittled down? We're about to find out. Can Mitch Larner be the first person to take a step inside the Great 8, or will it be James Dean, the machine? You can see Mitch Larner there warming up his tyres. The track is patchy. This is another thing to add. The wind's now picking up a little bit. Is it going to blow more rain in? I don't know. The sun is currently out at Mondello Park. The track is patchy. It's not completely dry.
Yeah, look, whatever way whatever side of the fence you sit on, if you're a Mitch Larner fan, if you're a James Deane fan, you've got to say advantage right now is with James Deane. He's come over that hill hundreds of times in the past in these weather conditions, and he has watched other drivers make that first mistake. I don't imagine James Deane is going to have any issue getting through that first corner. Mitch Larner, he is a real talent. Could he get caught out by the occasion? I don't know. We're about to find out. James Deane's going to have that opportunity as the highest qualifier to lead in Larner. Larner going to be chasing him in over the brow of that hill. Zestino tyres versus Falcon tyres. Australia versus Ireland. V8 versus 2JZ. Marshall giving a quick look over to both cars, making sure they are safe to go to war. Here we go. Deane, Larner, thumbs up from both drivers. They are go, slamming through the gears.
Mitch Larner gets the jump on Deane, now starts to fall back in line. Oh, they're side by side as James Deane initiates. Oh, Mitch Larner all over the front of James Deane's car. What a statement from Mitch Larner. Can they hold on to it? James Deane throws the car on big angle. Mitch Larner now starts to fight back and try and get back on the door of the multiple champion. Now, there he is. He's right there with him. Look how wet the track is. No chance, but they transition into outer zone 5. Back onto the wall goes Deane. Larner right with him. They push very hard. Larner now starting to fight them back on the side of James Deane's car, rubbing all the way across the line. Eddie Power.
Yeah, look, statement made. I want to see the replay, though, Ian, going back to the start, because coming into that first corner, was there contact? Was there wheel-on-wheel contact? Those guys kept it pinned, stayed in it. James Deane sacrificing a little bit of line here and there just to kind of keep that car on angle. Larner, though, like a dog with a bone. Here we go again. Larner, look at this. Very much out of position. Does he impede the line of James Deane? The judges will, of course, be watching those 3 lines that are marked out in the centre of the circuit, Ian, and yeah, we move on then to look at this. Larner just poised and ready for that attack. Deane throws it down onto the wall, and this is where Larner really brings the fight.
For me, I don't think Mitch Larner does impede him. I think James Deane pulls out a very good lead run. We're just going to see a replay of this one again. As you can see, Mitch Larner getting the jump off the line. Comes through the gears, side-by-side initiation. Unbelievable stuff. Look at this. The front bumper touches the front wing of Mitch Larner's car. Mitch Larner doesn't impede James Deane. Doesn't impede James Deane's line. James Deane does exactly what he needs to do. Sticks to the qualifying line. For me, is a little wobble for Mitch Larner. Mitch Larner stays in it very slow. Look how wet the circuit is, Eddie. It just goes to show you how patchy. You can see the dry lines. Deane, though, look, wheels over the edge of the circuit. Yeah. Not the perfect lead run
Not
for
the
James
perfect
Deane
lead
by
run,
any means.
missing some of those outer zones and then dropping wheels, and another wheel drop just as he crossed the line. And even with those very grippy 285 tyres, these guys struggling to get the pace down.
Well, Eddie, they're back on the line, and it is the second half of the run now. Mitch Larner's opportunity to lead in James Deane. Who's going to take it through to the Great 8? They come through the gears and fire it in. James Deane, the master of chase driving. What's he got, Eddie Power?
Yeah, well, Larner throws on big angle. Oh, drops a couple of wheels, but so does Deane. Drama through the first section. Both drivers get back on it now, but a big gap has opened up here as Larner looks to try and recover position. Deane just can't seem to get the grip down, and this is something that we've seen in this European Championship. When it gets wet, Deane has struggled to keep pace with some of the other drivers on the grid. They cross the line, big separation, and this one's going to all come down to that very, very crucial first few sections.
As we can see on the replay, Mitch Larner fires the car in. Very good initiation, does he? He washes very wide. It's a big correction. James Deane follows him in, hence why the drop wheels, but both guys get back into it. And James Deane, though, as you mentioned, that he struggles to get that proximity. Ladies and gentlemen, as they get out of the car, hit him with the wall of sound. James Deane and Mitch Larner going to town. Nothing left out there. Both guys putting it all on the door. I don't know, Eddie, what way this one could go.
No, certainly not. And as the judges look for another replay, I mean, you got to say, with James Deane is struggling out there, you know, tricky conditions are tricky. Deane right there through that first section. And this is going to be crucial. What way the judges look at this? Is it 2 wheels off from Larner? Deane has to back out of it. He's following the lead line, and of course, if Larner goes wide, he's going to go wide with him. From there, this one, I think it's irrelevant what happens at the rest of this one. That one's going to be decided at the first hurdle. Guys, they're out of their cars. One more time, make a round of applause for James Dean and Mitch Larner. Both drivers watching on nervously as they await to see who the judges deem the winner. A spot in the Grade 8. Will it be the Irish driver moving on, or will the streak be threatened once more?
Decision's in. Slide them left for Larner, right for James Dean. Australia versus Ireland. Who's going to take it? Kieran Hines. Oh, David Callas says James Dean. He needs one more vote and he's going through to the Grade 8. Kevin O'Connell says James Dean. James Dean gets the win and advances through to the Grade 8. Judges, we go to you.
Okay, thank you. If we look on the first run, it was very, very tight between both drivers. James made 2 times one wheel drop off, but Mitch was really, really cutting off the track to stay at the proximity. But if we look on the second run, then everything goes for 2 wheels off at our zone 3 of Mitch Larner, and he got incomplete because of that.
So we are lined up for our next battle here. It is going to be another heavyweight encounter. Ian, I'm hoping my voice can hold up for the next 2 hours. We've put blood, sweat, and tears into this year, and we are not done yet. Forrest Wang from Formula Drift goes up against the Irish Drift champion, Duane McKeever. Dream battle if you're an Irish fan, if you're an FD fan, if you're a Drift fan. This is a dream battle right now. Conditions are so sketchy, God knows what's going to happen next.
Nobody knows what's going to happen, Dave, but they're off the line. It's McKeever to lead in Wang for a place in the Grade 8. Ireland's pride is on the line as McKeever fires it in. Forrest Wang, nice initiation. Duane McKeever stands on the accelerator, starts to... Oh, McKeever! McKeever goes 4 wheels off track. Wang keeps his car out the wall. McKeever drops wheels again. That initiation is just unpredictable.
Well, that is a big story right there, Ian, because Duane McKeever, to me, looks like he went straight off the track there. Wang followed him off. Not looking good, maybe, for Duane McKeever right now, as Forrest Wang follows Duane off the circuit. This is so unpredictable right now. Watch this on initiation. Both come in. It's this point where Duane just catches no grip on the rear end of the car, fires off at the track. Wang goes off the track and loses control. Lucky not to come in contact with the barriers there. Keeps it in the middle of the grass. McKeever gets back on it again, but it's those 2 wheels off the circuit. Remember, that extra concrete there, not the track. It's actually just runoff. So just around about here, Duane is off, and then you can see dropping 1 wheel, 2 wheels. Wang following him, and the judges have a difficult call here. McKeever, who's been on rails in the IDC and BDC all year, looking to make a statement here today based on going to his European Championship, new home next year, the Drift Masters European Championship for Duane McKeever. But Forrest Wang from Formula Drift, he didn't expect him to be standing in his way and making a name today, and now we switch him around. This will be decided after the second run. Forrest Wang will now be in the lead position. Duane McKeever will be in the chase position. It is so unpredictable, it's so nervous right now, so much tension in this drift event. If you're a drift fan, this is all you can hope for from an event, that nervousness that you feel when they come off the line. Wang to lead in McKeever, here we go.
Well, the way I see it is Wang only needs to put in 1 clean pass, but Duane McKeever's not going to give him an inch as he almost tags the back bumper. Now, Wang puts down a really good lead line so far, but Duane McKeever's right with him. Wang nice and deep into outer zone 3. As McKeever goes door and door, oh, touching wheels as Duane McKeever starts to push the Formula Drift superstar around Mondello Park. Wheel to wheel, door to door again as Duane McKeever pushes Forrest Wang over the line. Give him a round of applause, Mondello Park.
Well, this is going to be impossible to judge, because I'll tell you why. Forrest Wang, a lot of handbrakes through the first corner, trying to keep that car sideways. The conditions are just so sketchy. Look, dry entry, then onto slippery surface. Wang then goes, McKeever straightens, has to back out. Wang goes to the outer zone, doesn't quite get there. Oh, it's just that the conditions have played havoc with the start of this top 16, Ian. It's made it so interesting, so exciting, but it's also made it very unpredictable. Look at Wang not out to the outer zone. McKeever trying to chase him in. He's not there either. Wang doesn't go all the way out to the finish line either. It's just not the perfect run. And I don't think the perfect run is out there right now, because even, you know, you look at Duane and James and Forrest, Wang, and these guys are struggling with the conditions, meaning that it is just like an ice rink in some parts, fully dry in other areas. This is very, very sketchy. And this goes back to the first run. Both cars off the track.
This one's going to be a very, very difficult job for our judges to judge, and you can see them looking at the replays, having a chat amongst themselves, and just look how patchy it is right there after they come out of link engine management corner, and it's dry against the wall.
Well, the longer it goes now, Ian, it is going to be fully dry.
Yeah.
It's going to be dry in the next couple of minutes, because the track is drying rapidly with the sunshine beating down on it. Looks like we've got blue skies ahead right until the end of this top 16. So therefore, it will be finishing in the dry from, you know, the middle of top 16 on towards top 8. But right now, that's not going to matter a whole lot to these guys who are having to fight against the grain right now, because there is no grip out there.
No, certainly not. A very, very tricky weather conditions. You can see the guys out in the car there just having a chat themselves. And
It's funny to think that the amount of people that tensed when Forrest Wang's car looked like it was going to the wall.
I did.
There's a lot of fans of that car out there. And when it started spinning towards the wall, there was people crying, jumping out of the grandstand. They were very upset. They were looking, we don't want to see that car get destroyed. We don't want to see any car get destroyed. And luckily enough, both guys come out unscathed. However, the judges are going to have a long discussion on this one.
they certainly have, and the judges having a real deep conversation about this. Like I see Kevin O'Connell stating the facts, and David Callas putting through his point of view. This is a subjective sport, Dave, and these guys have all got their opinion.
Yeah, and opinions are definitely flying on the left-hand side of our judging tower here. And also, remember, 11 international drivers, 5 Irish drivers. First battle up, Dean takes down the Australian. That's the first battle up. In the second battle here, Ireland goes up against the United States. Let's see. I mean, this is what the Drift Masters European Championship is all about. It's about the best of the best being given the worst conditions, the worst uphill battle, and proving their worth. It's not about just drifting around. It's not about just being good at drifting. That's what you do in your national series. When you come to this level, at this side of Europe, that's what it's all about, being the best in the business. That's why there is no safety nets here. There is no second chances. There's no warm-up. These guys got to be it every minute of every day. They have to at least pretend to themselves at times they are the best, because confidence goes a long way. And I mean, did we ever see, we would see a picture like that, Forrest Wang and Duane McKeever standing in front of it, a record attendance in Mondello Park for a European Championship final. If you're a drift fan, that is what it's all about. Guys, once again, give them a big round of applause before we get this decision for Duane McKeever and Forrest Wang. Judges still having a good deliberation over this one, and of course we want to get the action underway, but it's got to be the right call, and they're going through the criteria, going through each of the runs, deciphering what way they're going to basically call it. I mean, they make their own opinions here, but what they try and do is justify it to each other. They never really change their mind. I've been on the judging panel with some of these guys before. They never change their mind. They just justify it. They're having a quick look back at it. It's going to come out. Watch the first run. McKeever goes into that first. Look, washes wide, and it looks like he just drops off the track, 2 wheels. Forrest Wang follows him in and absolutely slams off the track. Now, in normal terms, you know, in other rules and other championships, 2 wheels would be a big deduction, but in the Drift Masters European Championship, it is a 0 when you drop 2 wheels. And then on this run, Forrest Wang slow through that first corner. Maybe you have to be, I'm not sure. I'm not driving out there, Ian. I'm not sure what's going on, but guys struggling with the conditions. It's not ideal.
Certainly not ideal, but for me, Forrest Wang puts in a pretty good lead run for what he can do within weather conditions, like you say. Look at that, just drop it off that outer zone massively, and just catches the edge of clipping point outer zone 7. I don't know if it didn't be enough for Forrest Wang to make it through to grade 8 competition.
The real question here is, can Forrest Wang understand what Duane McKeever is saying right now? That's the real question.
No chance.
Is he just nodding and smiling? Because that's what it looks like. And now Duane McKeever's got into pure, just physical motions now to describe what's happened. And Forrest Wang is saying, I'm not sure, Duane, what you're saying, but it was a good battle. We're both alive. That's all that matters.
My car's unscathed.
Yeah, my car and your car seem to be somewhat okay. But a decision, and this means a lot to both of these guys. It's a big call, especially when the judges now look like they are logging in scores. So it is decided. Forrest Wang or Duane McKeever, who's going to get the win? And I think we may have a split decision in the judging panel here. We may have a split decision. So we are sliding left for Forrest Wang, right for Duane McKeever. Who is going to get the win? One vote for Forrest Wang. One vote for Duane McKeever. It all comes down to Kieran Hines, the deciding vote. Duane McKeever gets the win and goes through. And I ain't even going to try and explain what happened there. We got to go back to our judges. Guys, that was tough in those conditions. You called it split decision.
I think okay, for 15 years I've been doing this, and I have tough ones from time to time. This was a really difficult one, and we have a split call here, mainly because we see this incident in two different ways. The second one, I think it's clear to see Duane has an advantage on the second one, not huge, but enough to take the second part of the battle. But if we talk about the first one, and it all comes down to the first corner. I think David will explain his side of it slightly differently, what he sees. But okay, what I see is I see Duane coming in, obviously a little bit too fast to take the corner. He does get, his line is correct as far as slip 1 and out to 2. He starts to wash slightly then, and he drops a wheel, which then ends up being 2 wheels at clip 3. So he scores a 0. That's fine, 0. Forrest in the chase position follows him, and he goes off onto the grass. In my opinion, he scores a 0. Now, the question is then, was Duane's speed so high going through the first corner that Forrest was only following him, and it was Duane's fault that Forrest went off, or was Forrest going off on his own? For me, Forrest would have to been very, very close to Duane, in my opinion, for him to be led off the track. And even if you accepted he was going too fast, the biggest issue for me is Forrest in the chase position, when he's coming from 1 to 2, he actually puts his wheel up over the curb on the inside. Now, if you have a lot of grip and you have a lot of speed going through there, if you get the line right, potentially he had the opportunity to get to where Duane got, in other words, just drop a wheel and possibly get away with it. But he doesn't. He goes up on the curb and he spears off and into the grass in the big way. So, personally, I feel that he was going off himself, and I don't think the speed that Duane was going was that much of a factor. In other words, the separation was enough between the two of them that they both made the error, both score a 0. So both score a 0 on the first run, and Duane takes small advantage on the second. That's how Kevin and myself sees it, and I think we'll give opportunity to David now to explain his opinion on it.
Okay, from my perspective, the speed was the main reason why both cars went 2 wheels off, and the speed was chosen by the leader, and the chaser was following the leader. The chaser had no possibility to slow down and make it more safe, because then the proximity will be not there and we will not see the battle. So he chosen to go very close, or try to get close to the leader. So he was following the same speed, which was wrong, and it led both cars out of the track.
Well, there's an interesting one. You know what? I could see both points, very valid points, and it comes down to that gray area in the middle of drifting of what caused an incident, and I can see it from both sides. But in that case, Duane McKeever from the second run taking the advantage and just about getting through. Track drying out now, though, Ian, rapidly, and we move on to another huge battle. Conor Shanahan, 15 years of age, from Cork in Ireland, goes up against the current UK British Drift champion, Matt Carter, in the Jap Speed R32. Matt Carter yesterday only beaten by James Dean in the final. He has been unstoppable this weekend, except by the machine. Now, Irish pride lands on Conor Shanahan's lap at just 15 years of age. Starters give the orders. We are ready to go. Who's going to make it through to the top 8 of the Drift Masters European Championship? Here we go.
Shanahan and Carter firing in on the initiation. Carter, though, staying way behind as Conor Shanahan now starts to find his way into outer zone 4. Carter on the door, but Shanahan way offline. Oh, wheel on wheel from Matt Carter. Matt Carter bullying Connor Shanahan. Looks for a good transition now. And a dive again from Matt Carter as he pushes forward. Shanahan wavering on that outer zone as Matt Carter finishes off the run on the back bumper of Connor Shanahan's car. As we go back and have a quick look at the replay, a very strange run, that one, Dave, for me personally, if you have a look.
I think we're going to get strange runs for a while now because of the conditions. It is drying more rapidly. It looks like Carter comes a little straight through that first corner. They both stay in it though, and Shanahan just being cautious towards that outer zone. Carter goes right to the door here. A little bit of contact between both drivers, but they both stay in it. And it's good proximity from Matt Carter there as he transitions back. Connor Shando lead run, absolutely phenomenal out towards the wall. I don't think there's much wrong with either run. I think that's a great lead and a great chase in very tough conditions. But we expect that with the standards so high. The best of Ireland and the best of the UK going to war here in the Drift Masters European Championship. What else would you expect?
Well, we only want the best, and the best is what we've got on the line. Matt Carter now to lead out Connor Shanahan for a spot in Grade 8. Who is going to join James Dean and Duane McKeever? Can it be Ireland? Will it be the UK? As Matt Carter leaves Connor Shanahan standing and powers away in that Maxxis tyre Jack Speed R32 Skyline. And Matt Carter is absolutely flying, looks for the outer zone, just falls foul of it, doesn't get all the way into the outer zone. Judges going to be looking at that now. Connor Shanahan starts to make the dive. And a big transition through the smoke for Connor Shanahan. Carter not deep into the outer zone again. Shanahan very shallow as he starts to make a dive on the door. As they bring it over the line. Mondello Park, give him a round of applause. Connor Shanahan and Matt Carter.
It's got to be said, Matt Carter's on form this weekend. Incredible driving in the lead and the chase. Normally we'll see a massive push from Connor Shanahan, but he got left for dead on the start of that run. Ian didn't get into the fight till very late on, and I'm not so sure if Irish pride is going to be maintained here. Matt Carter is a man possessed this weekend after, as you mentioned before, a horrible time in Europe with mechanical gremlins in the car. He left it until the last round to start getting that car working, and we've seen him in the final here in Mondello Park on a similar layout before yesterday. Right now, I'm not so sure. It's all switching around.
For me, I think Matt Carter's lead line was better than Connor's. Not sure about the chase. Connor's chase a little bit lagging in proximity here and there. The guys having a chat. Decisions.
We have a decision. Slide him left for Matt Carter, right for Connor Shanahan. Who's going through to the top 8? One vote for Matt Carter. And Matt Carter gets the win and goes through to the top 8. Phenomenal drive there from Matt Carter. The UK rejoices as Matt Carter goes through. Connor Shanahan will exit the competition there. Back to the judges. Very good driving from Matt Carter.
Yeah, great driving from both drivers there, especially on the lead runs. Both drivers doing very, very clean lead runs and very few mistakes to report from the lead runs. It really all comes down to the chase then. On Matt's chase, he didn't have a whole pile of proximity from outer zone 1 to outer zone 3, but then he closes the gap then as soon as he gets outer zone 4 without making too severe of a cut. Gets back onto Connor's door and maintains that proximity the whole way throughout and is absolutely on his door going over the finish line. Unfortunately, Connor doesn't mirror that proximity. He doesn't have proximity from the start and really doesn't gain a severe amount out for the rest of the track. So that's really what it all comes down to, and Matt taking a slight advantage over the 2 runs.
Well, now we're in a situation where on this side of the bracket, we have got 2 Irish through, which means that it will be James Dean to go up against Duane McKeever in the top 8. Now, the other side of the bracket, Matt Carter goes up against the winner of this battle, Joe Hountondji against Paul McCarthy. Germany versus Ireland. And if Paul McCarthy was to lose this battle, there would only be possibility of 3 Irish in the top 8. So this would be a big battle for the Irish. But Joe Hountondji, he's been confident all weekend. He's been saying this is his round, this is his time in the Red Bull 180, firing in. Oh, he's right there, McCarthy.
McCarthy's right with him, Dave. As you said, he puts it on the door. Look at the transition from Paul McCarthy. Absolutely phenomenal stuff from the man from Tipperary as he sticks it to the German Red Bull Drift driver. Now Hountondji gets into the outer zone. He's unfazed by that BMW stuck to his door, and McCarthy makes another dive on the door. Unbelievable.
Paul McCarthy making a statement. He has no right being there in the European Championship. Do you know why? Because he said himself this morning, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, I'll tell you what you're doing there, Paul, putting on a show. Paul McCarthy takes it up against one of the biggest names in European drifting. He doesn't even look at the crowd. He looks back at the start line. And Joe Hountondji, got to give him credit, phenomenal lead run there. Joe Hountondji is on huge form right now. Strong finish in Germany. He is going to be hunting Paul McCarthy rather, into the next battle. I cannot believe we are seeing battles, and these brackets and these setups are just incredible. We don't get to see these drivers against each other. It's like a greatest hits album.
Yeah, it is. It's the greatest hits of European drifting. Well, let's find out who's going to make the hit all the way through to the Great Eight. Back on the line. Oh, judges wanted to see a replay. No, back on the line. It is Joe Hountondji and Paul McCarthy. McCarthy now in that lead position. Hountondji's going to be on the radio to his spotter. He's going to say, where was he at, bro? He's going to say, well,
Hountondji's
he
got
was
to
on
prove
your door.
He is the 2017 King of Europe champion. Well, he's got to be the king of Mondello right now as he chases in Paul McCarthy, and he's right there.
He's right on the back bumper, Dave, as McCarthy fires it in. Joe Hountondji's right with him. Bit of separation now, though, as McCarthy transitions into the outer zone of link engine management corner. McCarthy starts to pull away. Can Hountondji make the dive and get on the door? He needs to do something desperately now. Hountondji needs to get to the door. McCarthy looks like he's walking away with it. McCarthy looks to the line and takes it home. Has he done Ireland proud? I don't know.
Oh, it's getting very heated on track, Ian. It's getting like a game of chess out there. Paul McCarthy, Joe Hountondji line up. Ireland and Germany line up to see who's going to go through to the top 8 as they await the decision from the judges. Guys, hit them with a big round of applause. Results are in. Slide him left for McCarthy, right for Joe Hountondji. This is going to be close. Kieran says Paul McCarthy. He needs one more and he's going to the top 8 of the Drift Masters European Championship. And he gets it. Paul McCarthy is going to the top 8 of the Drift Masters European Championship. The weekend will end there for Joe Hountondji, guys. Give him a big round of applause all the way from Germany. Throwing it back to the judges. Guys, a tough battle there.
Yeah, very tough. If we look on the lead runs, they were very similar, very nice line from both guys. But if we look more specifically on the chase runs, from Paul McCarthy, that was very strong chase. We really like it. It was very close, very on the doors. But if we look on the Joe, he was like losing and regaining the proximity, especially he cut it a lot around the outer zone 3. So that's the reason Paul McCarthy goes through.
So one side of the bracket will see James Dean face off against Duane McKeever. Matt Carter face off against Paul McCarthy. Now it's to the other side of the bracket, and first up it will be Norway versus Latvia. Tor-Arne Kvia to take on Janis Eglite. Tor-Arne Kvia in that V8, and of course right beside him another V8. Two very different chassis, two very different driving styles, but two guys that love to put on a show. Very competitive drivers, both have a lot of trophies in their cabinet. This is for a spot in the top 8. Listen to the supercharger of Tor-Arne Kvia's car as he hums through this track. Incredible cars.
Oh, Kvia very deep though into outer zone 3 as he now transitions back to outer zone 4. Janis Eglite starts to make the dive on the door. Can he get the proximity? Listen to Kvia's car absolutely singing. Oh, and he rubs the wall as Kvia again puts on that perfect lead line. Janis Eglite approaches the door and they go over the line side by side. Incredible stuff.
Kvia just overcooking it a little bit on entry there. Ian, I didn't expect it. I said he's been on rails all day, not making mistakes, but the conditions can hamper that as he initiated into the corner. It looked all good from both drivers, but just watch Kvia's rear wheels here as he dips 2 wheels over that white line. And Janis Eglite was pretty close to doing the same. That first corner, until it's fully dry, is not going to be an easy place to try and keep your car on the circuit. Kvia, though, look at that wall run, just flexing the back end of that car. And Janis Eglite puts foot to floor. I mean, Norway versus Latvia. We don't often see those two countries come up against each other in many sports, but right now we are here in Ireland. We're looking at some interesting statistics as we go. Right now, as I said, 3 drivers from Ireland into the top 8, but they're all on the same side of the bracket. If Kevin Quinn does not win his battle, we will have an international battle, maybe an all-international battle for the final, or an Irish international. Definitely an international driver in the final if Quinn doesn't win. That's where it's stacking up right now. But both of these guys want to make it to the top 8 right now. Kvia putting wheels off the track. And Eglite, he has been sensational right throughout the season, but just hasn't got to that podium. Could this be his chance? He's got a wounded Tor-Arne Kvia beside him because he's dropped wheels. This is as good a chance as he's going to get, Ian.
This is as good as it's going to get for Janis Eglite. He's now in that lead position, though. It's not the best place to be for scoring back points as they come through the gears. Listen to the cars as they scream. Whoa, wow! Kvia, door on door with Janis Eglite. Absolutely flying. Oh, my God. What a transition from Tor-Arne. Kvia gets back on the door. Janis Eglite stands on the accelerator. Kvia comes through the smoke. One last dive for these guys onto the wall. As Kvia now looks for the side of Janis Eglite's E46. Mondello makes some noise. What a battle.
What a battle from Tor-Arne Kvia, putting on a show for the Irish fans here at the final. Guys, they have made huge, huge sacrifices to be here this weekend. Give it up for Tor-Arne Kvia and Janis Eglite. We are going to get behind all of these international drivers and every driver on that grid, because this is what it's all about. Best of the best trying to beat the best. And look at that dive from Kvia. So brave, you've got to say, trying to get himself back into the fight.
Unbelievable stuff. Look at this transition. Bam, back on the door. Eglite, granted, gives him the perfect lead to chase, and just the proximity and the transitions from Tor-Arne Kvia were just phenomenal. And he gets in that smoke from Eglite's car and he's unfazed. He stays in it. Judges want to see one more replay of this from initiation. Look,
I suppose what they're looking at here is...
This is from... oh, sorry.
Something I didn't watch was the rear wheels of Eglite's car. Does he go off? Yeah, he's not right beside Kvia there on initiation. We were just going back to a previous decision with McKeever and Wang. Kvia puts 2 wheels off the circuit pretty clearly there. I don't think Janis Eglite puts any wheels off the circuit, so that looks like it will be a big advantage to Janis Eglite on the first run. So all that chasing by Kvia might count for very little on the chase run if that is the way this decision goes. It looks like we do have a decision here. Sliding left for the Latvian Janis Eglite, right for Norway's Tor-Arne Kvia. 1 vote for Janis Eglite. And Janis Eglite is going through to the top 8. Guys, give it up for Janis Eglite and Tor-Arne Kvia putting on a show. And unfortunately, it is going to be down to that first run. Kvia putting wheels off the track and Eglite not putting wheels off the track. So the second run not as important, even though Kvia looked very strong. So that is an easy one to be decided. And we move it along to our next battle. It's a very interesting one. Guys, give it up for Tor-Arne Kvia as he leaves the circuit, doing Norway proud this weekend. That guy is just going to be something else in the future, I'll tell you that for a fact. Next up, Pawel Trela against Jim Olofsson. Poland versus Sweden. 860 horsepower Opel GT, which we don't even really have this side of the world, against one thing we do have, which is BMW E30s. However, this one running a crazy setup under the bonnet. Massive horsepower here. They are pumped up, dancing in the car as Ian ready to go here. Trela to lead in Olofsson. Both of these guys have been in the walls, on the roof, all sorts this year. Prepare for something special as they hit the throttle and head over the hill in Mondello Park. Trela leaves Olofsson for dead.
Wow, absolutely unbelievable from Pawel Trela. He fires that car and stays an accelerator and no answer whatsoever from Jim Olofsson, as Jim Olofsson has been absolutely left for dead, as you say, Dave. He's not even in the fight. We can barely get both cars on the same screen. As Trela stands on the accelerator and drives away, Jim Olofsson finished off the run miles behind.
Well, to me, it all looked like it happened on the straightaway. I mean, that little rocket of an Opel GT just seemed like it was so fast. So Trela just making, what, 10 car lengths, 12 car lengths?
yeah, before initiation, you could just see how fast that car was. It just got up and went. I just think maybe a little bit that Jim Olofsson was left napping. Maybe he didn't think that that car was that fast and he would be able to hang with him. But for me,
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, that car, of course, is exceptionally light. You're talking, 1,000 kilos probably in that car, and it's about 750 horsepower. So once it grips up and goes, it's got no resistance.
Did Jim have a gear? Did he miss shift?
Maybe he missed the gear. Maybe something happened on the run up to the first corner. Could have happened.
Well, it doesn't look like there's any form of foul play, and it looks like it was a clean battle. So we have got those guys back to the line. It will be Jim Olofsson now to lead out Pawel Trela. They get the thumbs up. Our start line marshal there ready to rock and roll. Jim Olofsson now really needs to pull it out the bag. And then, yeah.
So we're getting, you see more that Olofsson missed the gear on the run-up on the last run, so no foul play there, just a driver error. Well, he's got it all to do now in the lead position, and Trela, he is going to smell the blood in the water here and say, if I get it close, or maybe he can even hang back a little, he might go through to the top 8. Let's see what happens.
I'm not sure Trela's going to hang back. He's already on the back bumper of Jim Olofsson's E30. As Jim Olofsson now fires it in, trying to undo some of that damage from the first half of the battle. Jim fires it in, but he's over rotating. He's going to cut himself way short on link engine management corner. Trela sees an open door and makes the dive now. And Pawel Trela gets himself back into the fight in the second half of this battle, pushes Jim Olofsson across the line, and Jim Olofsson just not having that, that fate that he wanted in this series.
No, it's been a tough year for Jim Olofsson, and of course, in many respects, lucky to not be hurt or injured in many of the incidents he's had. But I love his attitude. I love his ability to come back every weekend and just go back at it again and say that's what drifting is. You make mistakes, you rebuild yourself, you go back out there. Trela, though, he wants to finish this season strong. Guys, give it up for Jim Olofsson and Pawel Trela. Decision to be made here from the judges. Side him left for Olofsson, right for Trela. 1 vote for Trela. And Pawel Trela is going to the top 8. So Pawel Trela goes through. No real questions to ask of the judges there. Jim Olofsson just not able to keep with the driver. Missing that gear cost him everything. Now this could be a large battle here. Hountondji, this is the guy we've been watching all year across Europe. Love his driving style. Red Bull Drift brother in the E30 BMW, 650 horsepower LS V8 powered. Falcon tires. He goes up against Kevin Quinn. If Kevin Quinn loses this battle, then there will be an international driver in the final today. That is what's happening right now. So Hountondji takes the international European Drift Championship drivers closer to defeating the Irish on home soil, and what a finish it would be for them. And it would be 4 for 4 in the top 8 if that was the case. Can Kevin Quinn fight himself back into this one?
Oh, he puts himself in a dangerous position, though, David. He's initiated very late. He's got wheels up on the curb as Hountondji fires that V8-powered Red Bull E30 into the outer zone of 4. Now stands on the accelerator. Good transition. Whoa. Kevin Quinn almost gets himself caught up a little bit there now. Starts to make a dive on the door. Hountondji, though, he's up and gone. Quinn nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, well, it's not looking so good for the Irish right now, Ian, as they are now looking like they may have a deficit, and the closest weekend I think we've ever seen to the Irish starting to falter, and Kevin Quinn comes in wrong line on initiation, as you mentioned, way too tight to the inside of the corner. Stays with Hountondji there, but just couldn't track to do so. Hountondji, look at that lead line, absolutely perfect. He is one of the best drivers in Europe right now, and it's not just a claim, it's a fact. He's been out there doing it on every track this year, an incredible talent. Both of those guys, with Joe Hountondji now eliminated, you get the whole team getting behind Ellie saying it's your day. This is your day out there to go out there and impress this audience, impress the people around the world, go out there and prove how good you are. Well, right now he's got one run and he's got to put it on Kevin Quinn's door, and you can guarantee that is what he's thinking.
That's exactly what he's thinking. They get the thumbs up from our start line marshal, and they are set to go. Kevin Quinn to lead out Hountondji. As Kevin Quinn fires it in, Hountondji. Oh, cocking a wheel. It's Kevin Quinn, but Hountondji's deep. He's dropping wheels. Hountondji drops wheels off track. Now Kevin Quinn stays in it nice and deep into outer zone 4. Can Kevin Quinn pull this back and do Ireland proud as he puts it to the wall? Hountondji is way offline. Hountondji desperately trying to get himself back in the fight as they bring themselves across the line.
I don't know. I do not know.
I don't even want to try and think about it.
So here we are. Let's have a look at the replay. I'm not too sure, Ian. Just lifting a wheel on entry there, Kevin Quinn. Hountondji, oh, does he drop 2 wheels off the track? It looks like he does. I'm not sure if Quinn, I think Quinn maybe dropped 1 wheel off the track there. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Kevin Quinn staying in the fight just when we were counting him out. Just staying in the fight, and that is what it's all about this weekend. It's not about where you're from, what you drive. It's about how much fight have you got. How much fight in the tank have you got? Guys, give it up for Germany's Hountondji and Ireland's Kevin Quinn. And you know what? Everybody on that grid is so competitive, but they are just the nicest human beings behind the scenes. Just really nice guys. They're competitive for those 40 or 50 seconds outside of the car. True gentlemen, competitors. They'll help anybody out. They've all been swapping parts all over Europe all year in the Drift Masters European Championship. They're a team now. Everybody on that grid is a team. It may be one of the most competitive series the world has ever seen, but behind the scenes, they are friends and they are a team, because what they go is, I want you in your car, I want me in my car, and I want to beat you fair and square. That's what it's all about. You can only be the best by beating the best, and Kevin Quinn from the Irish Drift Championship getting his shot, his wild card entry. Could he take down a big contender? Here we go, scores are in. Side of left for Hountondji, right for Kevin Quinn. 1 vote for Kevin Quinn. And Kevin Quinn gets the win and goes through to the top 8. He cannot believe it, shakes his head. We come back to the judges. Guys, must have come down to that second run.
You just said it there, David. All came down to that second run. Quinn came in at absolutely blistering speed there. I actually said when he initiated, there's no way that he's going to hold this, but he did. Wheel just on the very edge, just barely on the white line at outer zone 3, but unfortunately Ellie couldn't keep up with that pace. Ended up dropping 2 wheels just before outer zone 3, and that was an incomplete then straight away from him. And obviously then from the first run, Ellie didn't have enough of an advantage, even though he had a fantastic lead run to overturn that incomplete that he had in the second run. So overall, Kevin Quinn, absolute maniac coming into that first corner, and he gets Ellie to make his own mistake, and he takes the win.
Well, there you have it. Well, talking about dream weekends, we have another man on a dream weekend right now. Eddie Power is down in the pits with Paul McCarthy into the top 8 of the European Championship.
I'm down here with Paul McCarthy. Paul McCarthy, you may not be a European Drift Championship competitor normally, but things are a little bit different here this weekend. A good performance yesterday and in the Irish Championship this season has secured you a spot in the competition, and right now you're tearing it up and sending it to a lot of European drivers' doors.
Yeah, to be honest, after yesterday is just bonus time. I was delighted to even be able to line up with a grid like that, and brilliant. It was a scrappy top 32 battle, but really settled into the groove and had a great battle there with Joe. So settled into the groove now with Matt Carter next, and he's on it, so we're going to have to go hard.
Yeah, Matt Carter's been one of the drivers that's really performed this weekend. He is competing in that European Championship and hasn't looked, we haven't seen the best of him until this round. What's the game plan going into that battle?
Send it in on his door as hard as possible. That's it.
And you say that, and as you say that, he appears behind us. Matt Carter, a man who this weekend has stated a claim as being one of the best drivers on the grid in Europe. It has been a tough season for you, traveling all over Europe. You've had mechanical problems everywhere you go. Yesterday, you narrowly missed out on taking down not only a 15 streak, but one of the best in the business. You're back again. You got Paul McCarthy, but you're looking like the man to beat today.
Yeah, after the season we've had, yesterday was a blessing, cars working fine, team's been on it, Garage Dean, my tuner, everyone's made it happen, the car's wicked, and yeah, back on form, found the mojo.
So, with no titles on the line, it's Ireland versus England, and he's after saying that he's going to walk through you, put it on your door. What's the response?
15 years. Bye-bye.
So there you have it. 2 drivers seem confident. Only one of them's going through to the final 4. They're going to decide that amongst themselves. I'm not even going to try and predict it. Back to you guys in the tower.
15 years. Bye-bye.
Wow, that's a
Ian,
bold
stop
statement.
smiling. Stop smiling,
I can't
Ian.
help it. I can't help it.
Stop
Dave.
smiling. Next up, huge battle for the Drift Masters European Championship. Pointtialak goes up against Adam Zaleski, 2 guys that have been on the podium this year. Pointtialak in Hungary, Zaleski second place narrowly. One more time with James Dean in Germany just 2 weeks ago. These guys are going to go to war. This is going to be huge. Off the line they go. You have Pointtialak from Finland to lead in. Zaleski from Poland.
Whoa, look at this Zaleski looking to get back on the door. Pointtialak looked like he was pulling away. Pointtialak stands on the accelerator. Zaleski balances that car absolutely perfectly. Now starts to make the attack onto the Finnish driver's door. Unbelievable stuff from Zaleski. Pointtialak transitions back into the outer zone 6 and Zaleski's right with him. Zaleski and Pointtialak door on door as they come through outer zone 7. Wow.
What a run from Adam Zaleski, 18 years of age from Poland. And he is the 2017 Drift Masters European champion. He goes up against last year's Drift GP champion. These guys have plenty of trophies and championships in the bank. You have Pointtialak, as I mentioned, the current Finnish champion. And look at this from Zaleski. He just was relentless on this run once he came past this transition.
Both these guys found the podium this year. Can they find a podium once more? Both guys deserved to be in the final, and that was like the first run of a final battle. Zalewski's proximity was just insane. Pointtialak is really going to have to bring the fight in the second half of this battle. He's going to try and make his way into the Great 8.
Honestly, at this point, that's the top 8. If it just dries up perfectly now, which it looks to be doing, it's going to be ridiculous. Yesterday, there was a huge precedent set in the top 8. Top 8 to finish was ridiculous. Today, I think it's even going to be more ridiculous as we start trying to find the last member of that top 8. Zaleski versus Pointtialak as they come off the line. Adam Zaleski, he's had car trouble knock him off top spot all year. He hasn't lost when he got to those podium positions. Car trouble all the time. He is a danger right now, and Pointtialak will know that. He'll know he cannot back down here. But Pointtialak has all of the horsepower in the world under the bonnet of that BMW, so he'll be able to stay with him here. And look at that launch from Pointtialak. He's staying right with Zaleski as they come up over the hill.
Oh, Zaleski, nice opposite flick transition. Pointtialak now starts to make the claw down the side. Oh, he's going to go deep. Pointtialak goes deep. Zaleski starts to drive away, but Zalewski's putting wheels on. Zaleski goes wide on out of zone 4. Pointtialak now tries to find his way back in the fight, but he's shortcutting the circuit. Zaleski deep into out of zone 6. Could it be all over for the Finnish driver as Poland takes it over the line?
Ridiculous. Just a ridiculous event right now. Just it's incredible. The driving, the level, the commitment, the speed, the aggression, and one small mistake right now, boom, off the track for Pointtialak. So that's all it takes. That's all it takes at this level. It's not about drifting anymore. It's about being incredible. And you have to stay incredible consistently throughout the event, which is the hard part. They've traveled from Finland and Poland with vans and trailers and buses. They've traveled all over the world. We give a big Irish welcome to Adam Zaleski and you are Pointtialak. Polish fans, wait. Finnish fans, wait for the decision. Slide them left for Adam Zaleski, right for Juha Pointtialak. So who's going to go through to the top 8? One vote for Adam Zaleski. And Adam Zaleski gets the win and goes through to the top 8. Incredible stuff. Adam Zaleski leaves the track. We're going to go back to our judges, guys, discuss that one. Big win for Adam Zaleski there.
Yeah, really good win for Adam there. And his chase run, you had a fantastic lead run, which made it a little bit easier for Adam to chase, but his proximity was absolutely awesome all over Juha's door, especially the second half of the track. So he came away with a fairly sizable advantage for that run. You switch him around then, and it really all comes down to the deciding factor there. Juha, I think, just came in a little bit too hot, understeered it, just coming past inner clip 2, and had a massive error. Can't really from the live stream replays whether it was 2 wheels off or not, but it was a massive disadvantage, and Adam takes the win overall.
So right now we are going to go back to the action. It is the top 8 lining up now. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, all of you right here, I want a big cheer, because right now we have just broken the Mondello Park attendance record, and it's drifting that has just done it. Give yourselves a big round of applause in the grandstand. But irregardless of that, this is the battle that everybody in Ireland wanted to see all year. Grandstand to my right-hand side, I want everybody on their feet for the top 8. Grandstand the far side, I want everybody on your feet for the top 8. You can only sit down when the action stops. That's the deal. Duane McKeever versus James Deane. Duane McKeever, he's going to probably win the Irish Drift Championship and British Drift Championship this year. James Deane has won the European Drift Championship this year and the US Formula Drift Championship. McKeever says, I want Deane here this weekend to prove that I am the best Irish driver right now. James Deane said, bring it on. He's beaten him 3 times before, but this is a very different Duane McKeever this time around. This is the battle we've dreamed about for months on end. McKeever will go up against James Deane. Are you ready? Who wants McKeever to win? Who wants Deane to win? We are ready to go over the hill. James Deane with the jump on McKeever.
Yeah, big jump from James Deane, and McKeever absolutely flying through into zone 1 now, starts to make the dive as Deane gets into out of zone 3. Look at this from Duane McKeever, he starts to apply the pressure to James the Machine Deane as they transition back now. Fires it onto the wall, James Deane. Absolutely perfect. McKeever trying to catch him up, trying to get that pressure, and he certainly does just as he goes across the line.
What a finish to that run from Duane McKeever. He pushed James Deane across the finish line. And the first half, guys, give them a big cheer as they roll past you. These two men may end up with 4 trophies of championships between them at the end of the season, but right now it's bragging rights on the line as Duane McKeever dives in on James Deane through link engine management corner, puts it on the door, and James Deane transitions back, but it's here where McKeever makes a monstrous dive onto the door. Look at the proximity as he crosses the finish line. He is wheel to wheel with James Deane. But they turn him around. Now it's time for James Deane to prove that he still is the best driver in Ireland. And he has to do it against a man that is on form and very, very confident. James Deane's going to have to go up a notch here against Duane McKeever. Duane McKeever's one of the fastest men through that first corner. This is going to be upwards of 80 miles an hour, full throttle through that corner. One mistake and you're going home. McKeever versus James Deane. They're off the line. Here we go.
Oh, James Deane tucks in behind McKeever. McKeever fires it in. Look at James Deane now. He hunts him down, pops a wheel on the curve to McKeever goes deep. McKeever goes deep. He's way offline now. McKeever falls offline. James Deane now studs the hunt down the door. Can he make a dive? He's certainly can. Oh, McKeever. McKeever shuts it down.
McKeever's got an issue. McKeever has an issue. And just on the last run of his Irish and, of course, extended European campaign, his oh-so-reliable car seems to have caused him gremlins. Oh, what a season both of these men have had. Never mind this battle, what they've achieved across the world. As they exit their cars, will you please make some noise for Duane McKeever and James Deane? Results are in. Side of left for McKeever, right for James Deane. 1 vote for James Deane. Is he going to the final 4? Yes, he is. James Deane goes to the final 4. And we're going to jump back. Eddie Power is with Janis Eglite getting ready for a huge encounter with Pawel Trela.
Look forward to in the Grade 8, Janis Eglite and Pawel Trela. Janis, first to you, your first time all season in the Grade 8, and it's insane considering the standard of driving that you possess. How are you feeling? You must be really loving this Mondello circuit.
Yeah, of course. I'm really happy with the first top 8 in this season, because so far this season was not the best season we wanted, but with this strong lineup, it's really happy when you get through the qualifying, then top 32, top 16, top 8. Yeah, I'm really happy. I hope the weather will stay dry, and yeah, well, we just need to make like really have fun battle. So.
You're coming up against Pawel Trela. He's been strong this season, and we've seen him go really hard against James Deane, but you're feeling comfortable here. Can you take him down?
Yeah, of course, no problem.
And Pawel, as I just said, you've had a strong season, but what a way to finish. It would be great to take a podium here in Ireland. You look like you're really getting comfortable and familiar with the track here.
Yeah, I've been here like I think 4 or 5 years ago. Then I just had unfortunately accident on the first run, so I didn't do any high score. But here I really love the track. I love the public. I love all the guys. We're just trying to have fun here, to make good battles for spectators, and just it's all like but still working. Keep drifting fun, yeah, something like that.
So a lot of spectators here, but a lot of Polish fans in attendance, and it's national pride. Are you about to go out and put on a dominant performance for those guys that have shown up here?
For sure, I think also me and Janis will go for 100%. As it's, I don't know how it's Janis, but for me it's probably the last event in the season, so just push to the metal. Yeah, so just push to the metal and keep all the face smiling.
So the message here is that these two guys, it's the final time they're going to compete this season, and they're expecting to take every single panel off their cars in order to go through to the final four. I'm looking forward to this one. Back to you guys. You can continue on with the action.
Well, we are moving it along, and Janis, Eglite and Pawel Trela are pumped up for their encounter. Next up, it is Ireland versus the UK. Paul McCarthy versus Matt Carter. Ireland versus the UK. Ian, this is going to get personal between me and you now in a minute, never mind. Between the drivers on the track. Paul McCarthy has battled his way through the grid yesterday. Matt Carter went all the way to the final yesterday in the Irish Drift Championship, but right now that doesn't matter. It's the Drift Masters European Championship. This is when it really matters for these guys. And Paul McCarthy has a wild card entry, as he said himself, on bonus time right now. But Matt Carter, just such a redemption this weekend. He came with all of the UK pressure on his back, Ian. They put it all on him this year to go out there, and it just didn't work out. Mechanical issue after mechanical issue. He was almost in tears on a lot of the rounds, but right now he's proving that he is the best driver in the UK, and right now he's ready to take anybody down.
Well, it would seem that it's like redemption for Matt Carter. Like you say, he hasn't had the best year whatsoever in Europe. He's returned back. He was on great form last weekend. He was on great form yesterday, and now Matt Carter feels on top of the world. Can he take down the local man? Can he take down the pride of Ireland, Paul McCarthy? Well, we're about to find out as they line up side by side, the higher qualifier. Paul McCarthy will lead out Matt Carter for a spot in the final four. They get the thumbs up from our start line, Marshall.
Well, hold on, Grandstand, I didn't say you could sit down. Get up, here we go. UK versus Ireland, McCarthy versus Carter. They are through the gears. Look at Carter!
Wow! Matt Carter almost making contact with the back of McCarthy. He makes a huge dive. Matt Carter makes a huge dive onto the door. Now McCarthy fires his car into outer zone 4. What can Matt Carter do as he starts to rein him in now? Matt Carter makes another big dive. One more attempt to get on the door from Matt Carter. Matt Carter pushes Paul McCarthy across the finishing line, and Matt Carter doing everything he can.
That dive on the wall from Matt Carter was, there's only one word to describe it. It was gangster. As he had so much ground to make up. Give them a big round of applause as they pass in front of you. McCarthy and Carter. But Carter was on the back bumper the minute he came through that first corner. And then it's the dive from Carter as they come from Link Engine Management corner to the wall. Look at the ground he makes up here. He's a little bit behind. This is where he throws it way too fast. Comes in on big angle and boom, right on the door again. Perfection from Matt Carter. And I can't believe I'm saying that about a UK driver, but incredible stuff. Paul McCarthy has his work cut out. This may be too much from Paul McCarthy here. This may be too much for him.
The biggest thing for me for Paul McCarthy is, has he got the pace in that car? Everybody in the paddock was saying that Matt Carter's car is phenomenally fast.
Well, he's got steam pouring out of the bonnet of the car, that's for one. Paul McCarthy's car overheating on the line a little bit there. Steam pouring from the bonnet. You can bet it's his last run of the year. He doesn't care if that engine fires 18 feet out of the bonnet at this stage. He is going to send it into that first corner with everything it's got. Carter, he has had the best lead runs all day. Now look at McCarthy. He's left him off the line.
Oh, McCarthy tucks in on the back bumper. Carter. Oh, Carter. Whoa, a big problem for Carter. He tries to initiate and nothing. No! Matt Carter falls on track. Paul McCarthy steams ahead. What are we seeing? Paul McCarthy.
I don't believe it. Carter shuts it down. And Paul McCarthy looks like he's going to take it home to the top four. With an overheating E36 BMW. Oh, I cannot believe it from Matt Carter, guys. elation for the Irish fans, but so unfair on Matt Carter. The car gives up on initiation. Oh, I can't believe it. My heart goes out to Matt Carter there. As they get out of the car, guys, give it up for Matt Carter and Paul McCarthy.
Look how excited Paul McCarthy is. He's jumping around like a teenage boy.
Let's make it official. Slide him left for McCarthy, or right for McCarthy, left for Carter. It's for a spot in the Final Four. Paul McCarthy is going to the Final Four to face James Dean. Don't tell him that yet, but he's going to face James Dean in the Final Four. Matt Carter eliminated. Left-hand side of the bracket is now all Irish in the semi-final. As Paul McCarthy leads. Guys, round of applause for Matt Carter. What an unfortunate way to end the day for him. Mechanical failure for the UK driver. We go back to the line. This is the one I've been looking forward to. This is the pride of Latvia to go up against the pride of Poland. Pawel Trela to go up against Janis Eglite. Both of these cars, right now we've got 1,660 horsepower on the start line. One in an Opel GT with a 2JZ Toyota engine, the other an LS1 twin turbo under the bonnet of that E46. This is going to be a show, Ian. These guys have been putting it down since the start, not only of today, but this whole season. Two of the biggest fan favorites in the drift world go head-to-head here in Mondello, and they're off the line.
Yeah, they're off the line, and Janis Eglite tucks in behind the Opel GT. Opel GT fires it in of Trela, but Trela backs out the throttle. Eglite stands on it. Eglite has lost some ground. He needs to start to pick it back up again. He makes a big dive into out of zone 3. Look at Janis Eglite, door and door, as he transitions through the smoke. Now Eglite looking to make another dive. Big transition from Eglite as he starts to push Pawel Trela over the finish line, and Trela doing a perfect lead line.
Now, I know we're in Ireland, and I know that the Irish fans are obviously going to get behind their boys, but we need you to get behind all of these guys as they are putting on a show. Give it up for Trela and Eglite, guys, putting on an amazing show. But only half the job done so far. Both guys through the track, and it wasn't until right here, and what a dive from Janis Eglite, pushing right out to the back bumper of, and when I say the back bumper, I mean the back of his head, because that car is literally only, it's just a short little car, and how he, with such a short wheelbase, so much power to weight, he even keeps that thing in a, a smooth run is crazy. What talent from Europe on display here. One of these guys will be going to the top 4. So we will have a driver from either Poland or Latvia into the top 4 at the final round of the Drift Masters European Championship. And Mondello Park holds its breath as we are ready to send cars once again in over that hill. Marshall gives the word, thumbs up, and we are good to go off the line. 1,660 brake horsepower, firing towards a 70-80 mile an hour entry, and look at Trela right there on the inside.
Trela right there, that tiny little Opel GT now tucks up on the inside of Janis Eglite. Oh, Trela tries to make a dive, but he makes a big error and straightens. Janis Eglite stands on a throttle and starts to drive away. Can Trela get some redemption? He certainly can. Oh! Trela takes the side and front bumper off his car, and Trela makes big contact with Eglite as Eglite powers over the line. And look at Eglite, arm out the window, punching the roof,
well,
ecstatic.
We said there'd be fireworks. There was definitely carnage as Trela makes a last-ditch attempt to get into that fight and absolutely destroys the rear end of Janis Eglite's car and the front end of this car. Guys, this is carnage for your entertainment. Grandstand, hit them with some noise.
Transition back, look at that back, absolutely. Trela just makes a dive at the wrong point.
Yeah, he looks like he runs over his front bumper and it stops his wheel from steering. That's why he shut it down. So unfortunate for the Polish driver. And check this out, look on transition. Oh, just runs straight into the back of Janis Eglite. A very, very brave move, but one that didn't pay off, Ian. So we're going to a result. It's for a spot in the final 4. Judges lock in their decisions. Slide him left for Janis Eglite, right for Pawel Trela. One vote for Janis Eglite. Is he going to the final 4? Yes, he is. Janis Eglite goes into the final 4, his highest finish this year at the Drift Masters European Championship. And guys, just to check in with you guys, no foul play there. Trela just getting a little bit too hot.
At the replay, but Eglite is well entitled to slow in that area. It is one of our 2 deceleration zones. I think Trela just came in far too hot there, made contact, and then completely shut down his run after that. So we need Trela then to be at fault for that, and that is then an incomplete for Trela.
So we moving on. Now this is an interesting one. We have, you know, Janis Eglite, Latvia's in the top 4. We have McCarthy versus Dean, but who's going to go up against him? Adam Zaleski, 2017 Drift Masters European champion, goes up against Kevin Quinn. What's Kevin Quinn doing up here in the top 8? Well, he's probably asking himself the same question. He goes up against the most difficult opponent he's probably ever met. This young kid, 18 years of age from Poland, is a beast. He almost took down James Dean at the last round, going one more time in the final before mechanical failure. Well, right now, he's got to get the job done to get himself into the final 4. The Polish flag proudly presented on the back spoiler of his car. Ireland versus Poland. Larner gives the word. We are ready to send cars. It's for a spot in the final 4. Quinn, Zaleski, who's going to take it? We are good to go.
Look at Kevin Quinn getting the jump on Adam Zaleski already. Oh, wow, look at Kevin Quinn, door to door. Before they initiate, and Kevin Quinn makes a dive. Zaleski goes deep. Zaleski goes deep and shuts it down. Kevin Quinn attempts to try and drift the rest of the track. We need to see a replay. Was there contact on initiation from that?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, Ian. We're going to have to take a second look at this one.
Wow. Kevin Quinn was side by side as Adam Zaleski tried to initiate. Zaleski gave a big opposite flick initiation, and he had to kind of back out a little bit. Kevin Quinn was right there. It's going to go to replay.
So let's check this one out again, Ian. Right, as they come in on initiation, Zaleski goes in, Quinn goes in. Oh. It looks like Adam Zaleski was pretty wide.
Already going in, yeah.
It looks like he got in very, very fast there. I'm not sure. Quinn was definitely following him in, as you would expect. But
now that comes into play from what the judges were saying earlier about the proximity on initiation and following the lead car in.
Now, they say, you know, if you're let in and you're very, very close, I mean, you can't really see where the track is, I get that. But if there's a little bit of gap or a separation, then you may also score a 0 on that first corner. So judges are going to have a look at the criteria here and see exactly. I'm looking at this from the opposite angle. Do we see a wavering from Zalewski's car here? Quinn is very close there. No, it does look like Quinn does look like he makes some contact with Zalewski's car there as they come through. It's definite contact. It just depends on what way the judges call it. It looked to me like Quinn came in very hot on the inside, and we expected him to do so. As we said, he's punching above his weight here, so he's got to throw caution to the wind. And as they came through, Quinn coming through, and it's almost front wheel to front wheel there. Look, just.
Does look like Adam Zaleski though, Dave. He's very far offline. He's nowhere near that inner zone, inner first zone. If you look here, nice wide initiation, but he's way offline. I don't know if Kevin Quinn wasn't there, would Adam Zaleski been on the same line?
Yeah, the thing is, he may have been offline, Adam Zaleski, but can you just punt him into the grass? Is that something you can do if he's not online? Kevin Quinn
says yes.
Actually, Kevin Quinn said you can do that because he just did it. But whether or not the judges agree with that is a different question.
This is going to come down to the judges again, Dave, like you just said, and it's going to be a very, very difficult decision for them to make. As we can see the end of that run for you guys in attendance on the big screen and at home watching the replay. So judges still discussing this one. Still not come to, still want to see another replay, trying to find out exactly what happened.
You know what, I couldn't call this.
No.
It looks to me, and we've seen this happen so many times on this corner. One car hits another, who's at fault? It's a very unusual corner because of the pace you carry with gravity, not just with the speed you come through the corner, because you're coming downhill. So Quinn and Zalewski both end up in the grass. It's going to be who's at fault, really, or both at fault. I mean, to me, I think it's going to be one or the other. I think the rule that they were talking about with Wang and McKeever earlier on, that Wang had enough time to see that McKeever was going off and stay on track. I don't think Quinn did, but did Quinn put Zalewski off? That's what we're going to find out later on. But right now, we're ready to send him again as Quinn and Zalewski come off the line. It's the second half of the battle. Quinn leads leads him in. Zaleski firing through the gears. Look at Quinn's initiation.
Wow, oh wow, look at that. Kevin Quinn's car hopping a wheel in the air. Adam Zaleski now starts to make the dive. Kevin Quinn now very deep. Saves it and keeps it on track as Kevin Quinn fires into outer zone 4. Zaleski giving him some room to manoeuvre though. Does Zaleski feel like he has the first half of the battle in the bag? He starts to make a dive on the door. Kevin Quinn on a perfect lead line, but Adam Zaleski wheel on wheel as he pushes Kevin Quinn across the finish line. Poland versus Ireland.
Wow. Ian, I don't have much left in me. I honestly don't. These guys are just blowing my mind right now. The driving standard this weekend has just been ridiculous. Lifting a wheel, he's 3 wheels coming through the first corner, Kevin Quinn. Does he put 2 wheels off? That's the question I was looking at. Does he put 2 wheels off? It's definitely 1. And he defeated a tire also, Kevin Quinn. So look, he's actually finishing the run on 1 tire. Kevin Quinn finished the run. Guys, give it up for Zaleski and Quinn. One of the young guns rising in the Irish Drift Championship. One of the young guns that's already an accomplished European champion on the track right now. Our judges still deliberating over this one. But it looks like we've got a decision locked in. It's all going to come down to that first run, I think. Slide him left for Kevin Quinn, right for Adam Zaleski. Which way is it going to go? I have no idea. 1 vote for Adam Zaleski. Two votes for Adam Zaleski, and he goes through to the final 4. Guys, give it up for Kevin Quinn. What a result. But Zaleski's going through, and of course, we want to know why.
It's the first corner really that decides this, the first corner on the first run. Okay, watching the replay, Adam maybe is slightly wide on clip 2. But the thing is, as in the briefing we tell them, that you must be on throttle from 1 to 2 to 3. You mustn't slow. So the only way that would have been Adam's fault, the contact would have been Adam's fault, is if he actually slowed. And there's no evidence of that. Looking at the replay, we see no evidence of him slowing. It looks like Kevin just came in with just a bit too aggressive, or he was just a little bit faster going through the corner than Adam was. Either way, it's Adam's, or it's Quinn's fault. He taps him and pushes Adam off into the grass. So 0 score at that point, and it was, in our opinion, it was Kevin's fault.
So there we go, judges' decision breaking it down, and Kevin Quinn too aggressive for that. But that leaves us with just 4 drivers ready to go.
Hold on, Ian. Hold on.
4 drivers.
Let me just get you up to speed right now.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Okay, here's where we stand, ladies and gentlemen. Top 4. 50% of the grid from Ireland. 50% of the grid not from Ireland. There will be an international driver from the Drift Masters European Championship, European range of drivers in the final. There will be guaranteed Adam Zaleski or Janis Eglite, both ex-European champions. One will be in the final. But who will be facing them? Will it be Dean or will it be Paul McCarthy on the dream weekend that he is on right now? We are almost ready to send it for the top 4. However, Mondello Park, we've just said we cracked the attendance record here this weekend. It doesn't sound like it, though. It sounds like we got a lot of boring people in here this weekend, which we didn't have all year. We've had amazing fans in Latvia, amazing fans in Hungary. Riga was incredible. Poland, those guys went crazy. So the Irish fans are not going to be the best fans of the whole year? Really? Like, I mean, they're not going to stand up in the grandstand for the top 4 and absolutely scream the roof down. They're not going to represent their country like their drivers are on the track. Grandstand, are you ready? We are going to the line. James Dean against Paul McCarthy. It's an all-Irish battle to go for the final. Here we go. Dean, the current champion. McCarthy with nothing to lose here. Can he take down the highest ranked driver in European drifting when he's going for it, Ian?
Oh, he's going for the door, Look at this from James Dean, but Paul McCarthy. Oh, Paul McCarthy makes a huge error, goes wheel to wheel with Dean as they come into linkage in management corner. Now Dean on a big transition back on the wall goes Dean. McCarthy can't hang. McCarthy tags the wall, takes the back of his car off as James Dean finishes up in spectacular style.
Paul McCarthy decided halfway through the run, I think I'll just punch him in the face, because that's exactly what he did. He just dove into that corner. Ladies and gentlemen, put it together for Paul McCarthy and James Dean, letting it all hang out on the track today. McCarthy, how did he stay in it? He crashed and then said, this is twice this weekend. He's crashed and said, nah, don't worry about it, just keep going. Hits the wall, takes the back end off the car, back on it again. What a warrior, but James Dean in that lead position, Ian, well, business as usual.
Exactly what you said, business as usual for James Dean. That lead line, that first place qualifying line is just phenomenal. It gave Paul McCarthy the opportunity to make those big dives, to gain that proximity. But for me, Dean did enough out front. McCarthy made all the mistakes behind trying to chase him. Dean seems like he's caught some serious pace.
Ready to set up. You know what? This grandstand's been making some noise. What about you guys over the far side? Make some noise!
I see an Irish flag.
Oh, hold on. We got a late contender for the loudest grandstand. All right, the normal grandstand makes some noise. Show us how it's done. New grandstand, top that. Oh,
wow.
At the same time, make some noise. Everybody standing, make some noise. Everybody make some noise. That's more like it. We are ready for battles. McCarthy versus Dean, second half. Ian, everybody here is pumped. I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my mind. Paul McCarthy's lost half of the rear end of his car. He doesn't even care. Dean doesn't care. They're throwing down 80 miles an hour on the handbrake. Here we go again. Surely not. McCarthy couldn't pull something out here.
He might just well do it, Dave, as he comes steaming off the line. James Dean's tagging on the back bumper. No, look at James Dean on the back bumper of Paul McCarthy's car. Paul McCarthy fires it in, though, stands on the accelerator now. Can Dean make the dive onto the door as they initiate into outer zone 4? Dean right with McCarthy now, starts to push him as they have a wild transition from both these guys. Onto the wall goes McCarthy, but James Dean's right with him as James Dean makes contact with Paul McCarthy across the line. Mondello,
What a finish. What a finish, Ian. This is the most insane. I don't even know what to describe it anymore.
I'm just glad this is the
last one. You know
one.
what? When these boys stop up, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to make the biggest roar all the way around Mondello. Hit them with a wall of sound. Give it up for Paul McCarthy and James Dean. Well, we will have an Irishman in the final. We will have a driver from either Latvia or Poland in the final, but which Irish driver will be there holding down 15 years of history? 15 years of history will be on the shoulders of one of these men in that final. And James Dean and Paul McCarthy have got to the final 4 against. They were stacked against it. 11 versus 5 in the top 16, 2 Irish in the top 4. Once again, everybody make some noise for Paul McCarthy and James Dean. Paul McCarthy's like a terrier. He's like a terrier. He just bites at your heels all day, and you're like, he's always there. Result in. Who's going to go to the final of the last round of the Drift Masters European Championship? Slide them left for McCarthy, right for James Dean. One vote for James Dean. And James Dean gets the win. And James Dean will attempt to hold down 15 years of history in one battle. Any pressure on James Dean in this final? He will be going up against an international driver from Latvia or Poland.
James Dean, another final, another war. 2 international drivers taken down, 2 Irish drivers taken down. You've been pushed to your limits. You're going to the final. Before I hear from you guys, everybody in the arena, make some noise. Returning to action in Ireland, James Dean. James, talk us through it.
First of all, I just want to thank all the Irish fans because you really are the best. This is incredible, and thank you all so much for the support. So, round of applause for you guys. It's been a crazy day for me, just driving back in Ireland. I'm enjoying every single minute of it. I'm trying my best, and everyone I'm battling is putting it really to me. So today it's very tricky because the conditions were changing, but I think the finals are going to be great. It's dry and everyone's pushing 110%, so it's exciting.
The only thing that remains really, because you're already the European champion, you've already topped the podium yesterday, there's that little thing of a 15-year streak. Surely you're not going to let that go on your watch.
I'll try my best. Let's see what happens. Who could I be battling? Because I don't even know. It's been so crazy.
I'm going to hold that one back from you.
Oh, yeah.
So, James, congratulations, and we look forward to watching the final.
Yeah, well, it will be Janis Eglite or Adam Zaleski, and Adam Zaleski has taken James Dean to a one more time and has also beaten James Dean in the past. Guess who else has beaten James Dean along that European journey?
Janis Eglite.
Janis Eglite. So the two men that go into this battle have both beaten James Dean in the past, and there's 15 years of history on the line in the final. The Drift Masters European Championship concludes, and two of its stars, Eglite and Zaleski, will compete for a spot in the final. Will it be the showman, Eglite? Will it be the 18-year-old Zaleski? These guys will not back down on this one. They've gone too far. They've traveled from Poland. They've traveled to Latvia, Hungary. They've traveled all over Europe. Car failures, mechanical failures, fires, crashes. They've rebuilt these cars 4 or 5 times this year just to get it here to Ireland. They've been on ferries, stuck in the sea during the storm, and they're here right now in the top 4 in Mondello Park. Are you ready for another top 4 battle, Mondello? Well, it is going to be for the final. And let me remind you that not many international drivers have ever got to the final here in Mondello Park, and we are guaranteed that. But will it be Zaleski? Will it be Eglite? These two are the biggest stars in the game, European drifting's finest, maybe even the world's finest on the line right now, Ian. I am pumped for this one. It's going to be a challenge. Whoever faces James Dean, you can be sure is coming for blood. But they've got to go through each other first. Starlight Marshall just checking some issues. It couldn't be more mechanical issues for Adam Zaleski this year. It couldn't be.
That is not what we want to be hearing right now. It looks like maybe just be, is it a loose piece of rubber caught around the part of the steering on the...
Well, Starlight Marshall just making some adjustments to the car. It looks like we have got some issues with Zaleski's car.
Oh, it's heat wrap.
Heat wrap
off the exhaust.
Off the exhaust has wrapped itself around the suspension. Our Starlight Marshall attempting to make repairs. And this is nervous at the moment. Zaleski went, if you weren't watching, if you're an Irish fan, if you're a Driftmaster fan, of course you were watching in Germany. What an insane round that was. But in the final, Zaleski and Dean went to a one more time, many claiming that Zaleski should have taken it on the first time around. They went to one more time. Zaleski gets into the final, lines up with James Dean, subframe fails on the car. But it looks like we are good to go. Zaleski and Eglite. Adam Zaleski says to the marshal, I don't care, I'm running it either way. Doesn't matter what's attached to the suspension, I'm going for this. That's an 18-year-old who's confident right now that wants to go to the final. And Eglite, he's had a season where it hasn't worked his way. We've expected him to be in the top 3 and on the podium. Well, he is just one battle away from a guaranteed podium here today. Doors closed, ready for action. 3 more battles left in this season of the Drift Masters European Championship. And it is Poland and Latvia fighting for a spot to go up against the champ in the final. And whatever about James Dean winning, if you can beat him, beat every Irish streak for 15 years on the last day of the championship, you might as well just get another championship because it's even bigger. No one's done it in history.
Well, there is that. They get the thumbs up. They are ready to rock and roll. Janis Eglite to lead out Adam Zaleski for a spot in the final awaits. They smash through the gears. Eglite puts in charge, but look at the dive from Zaleski. Zaleski with an insane initiation. Zaleski on the door of Janis Eglite. Eglite fires it back into outer zone 4. Eglite absolutely dialed, but Zaleski now starts to make the dive once again as they fire it to the wall in front of the judging tower. Zaleski on the door of Janis Eglite as they come across the line. Mondello makes some noise for Latvia and Poland.
You know what? With a chase run like that, Adam Zaleski is a real threat to anybody he comes up against. He is one of the brightest talents in world drifting, and it just showed there. So much pace, so much speed, but the car always lets him down right at the end. It's got to stay together. What a chase run.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Breathtaking.
I have never
breathtaking.
Never witnessed
look at that dive onto the door, and it sticks.
A weekend of drifting. Have you ever been to a weekend of drifting, anything like this in your
I
life, Ian?
couldn't do these weekends constantly.
We can't have any more of these
I've been
because we are getting
hospitalised.
older, Ian, and this is breaking our souls because we want to be so excited, but our bodies are saying, guys, relax.
Chill out.
But we can't because there's history, there's championships, there's Europe, there's everything on the line. It's too big. Well, Janis Eglite, his spotter, is going to have to say to him, well, Janis, just to let you know, he absolutely destroyed you on that run. You're going to have to be every bit of the ex-European champion that you claim to be. Every bit of the Baltic champion you claim to be. Every bit of the Eastern European champion you claim to be. Eglite has to be the best right now.
He sits on the line side by side with 2017, the Drift Masters European Championship champion Adam Zaleski. Can he take him down? One shot to go, and Zaleski leads in Eglite, and Eglite looks like he's been left standing as Zaleski stands on the accelerator, sacrificing the depthness into clipping point 3. Eglite starts to make the dive now, but Zaleski looks like he's on a full charge. Can Eglite make a last-ditch attempt to get on the door? He can't. He can't put it to the 18-year-old as Poland looks so strong.
You know, that is a scary, scary dominance in that battle. If you're an Irish drift fan right now, that is a scary, scary dominance by that young man, 18 years of age. That is incredible, incredible talent. And the speed carried higher speed through that corner than anybody else today. Guys, give it up for Adam Zaleski and Janis Eglite. One of these guys will be going through to the final. Judges looking for a replay. So if they're going for a replay, this one isn't cut and dry, Ian. Maybe something we missed.
No, I said it. I think it's the shortcut from Zaleski. Watch this. Doesn't get all the way out there.
Yeah,
so a
but
shallow-ish line. Eglite sticks it to him. He starts to make up the lost ground. But I think that the only way that Zaleski gains the gap was off the start line and through not getting in deep enough into outer zone 3.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to a little bit of a mix of both. Great proximity from Adam Zaleski. A little bit of a cut on his lead run. Let's see which way it's for a spot in the final. Could Zaleski make 2 finals in a row? Back-to-back finals after a DAQ at the first round. He's back in the championship race. He may even go into second in the championship if it goes his way. But Eglite's still in the fight here. Judges, which way are they going to go? Who's going to the final? Sliding left for Zaleski, right for Janis Eglite. One vote for Adam Zaleski. And Adam Zaleski's going to the final. Oh, that is huge, huge. Adam Zaleski, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. 18 years of age. And we're going down to Eddie Power on the track. This man is going up against James Dean, and he is ready to rock and roll.
I'm down here with the 2017 champion and the man who is going into the final against James Dean. You have not had it easy, Adam, but you have managed to pull your way and fight your way all the way through, and you have a chance at redemption against James Dean. You took him one more time at round 5. Can you go one step further this time?
We will see. The track is crazy. I'm really happy to be here, to drive so much kilometers to be somewhere where it's the amazing track. And also, I'm excited about fans here. Thank you very much for supporting. Also big hello to fans from Poland also. Witam was wszystkich I mam nadzieję, że wam się wszystkim podoba.
So not only is it you and James going head-to-head in the final, but also Ireland versus Poland. And we have a lot of Polish fans here trying to make some noise. Are you going to take it home for them?
We'll see that James is a really good driver at this track. It's his home track. I will be trying my best, but yeah, James is really good, so we'll see.
We wish you the best of luck. Mondello Park, make some noise and show some love for Polish driver Adam Zaleski.
Incredible stuff. We will see Zaleski against Dean in the final for the second time. Ian, just give me a moment to tell you a story. I need a moment to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story. This sounds like it's made up, but it's not made up. I promise you that, okay? Last Tuesday, I called over to my dad's house. Seems unrelated. And we were arguing over drifting and what was going on. I said to him, who's your favorite driver in the world? And there's a couple of us there. And he said, no joke, Adam Zaleski. And I said, why Adam Zaleski? Because he said, he's the only guy that can beat James Dean. That was what my dad said last Tuesday. And here we are on a Sunday evening with that exact scenario. At the last event, Zaleski, in many people's eyes, had James Dean beaten, went to it one more time, couldn't compete because his car broke, subframe broke. Well, we're about to answer another question. What if Zaleski goes into this next battle in the final? 15 years. I say 15 years of history. It's not 15 years of history. It's all of history. No one ever has done it. No one ever has beaten James Dean at this kind of level of competition. International has never beaten James Dean. To do it in front of everybody in the world right now, one of the highest attended events in European drifting, the highest attended event in Irish drift history, excuse me, the highest attended event in Irish motorsport history. And a Polish guy is going to come here at 18 years of age and say, on his own backyard, that is a story to finish this season on. And it is also going to be, just to throw it in, Ian, last year's Drift Masters European champion against this year's Drift Masters European champion. And Adam Zaleski said to me, well, I went through 8 half shafts in Pawel in Poland. I didn't get any points in the first round. If I did, and I think if you look at the scoreboard of the championship at the end of this round, you would just add those points and James Dean would not be as comfortable as he is now as the champion. This is point to prove for Adam Zaleski. We've seen in Ireland so many drivers come up against the final. Chris Forsberg's made the final here, lost. Dayo Shahara has made the final here, lost. Forrest Wang made it to 3rd position a couple of years ago. Mitch Larner's made 3 finals from Australia, but no one's ever done it. Right now, Zaleski goes up against the best in the business, and many argue that Zaleski is the best in the business. This guy's won the European Championship last year. And you know who he beat in that championship to win it last year? James Dean. So that's what's happening right now. Don't take this guy for granted. He is that damn good, but also, not only that, he is one of the most awesome kids I've ever come across. He's so polite, no arrogance, really chilled out, just loves driving his E30 BMW. He's traveled to 5 countries in a van and a trailer with his dad, going to all of these events all year. To come here in front of an Irish crowd, to go up against that, it's just a dream finish to the season. It's been an incredible season, Ian. We've had such a good time. Drift Masters European Championship has been just the biggest breath of fresh air in European drifting. Every round's been crazy. The driving's been crazy. The partying's been a little bit crazy too. But we have had a ball, and we cannot wait to get working on next season and bring it back even bigger and better. It finishes here in our hometown, but we've made 5 hometowns this year. We've been welcomed everywhere we've gone. All of these drivers have been welcomed. We've driven through the streets of Riga with 70 drift cars. We've been in a stadium that has tarmac laid in Poland. We've been in a Formula 1 track 2 weeks ago. And right now we are at Mondello Park with the biggest audience the championship's ever seen, right here, right now. Incredible. Ian, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to all of you guys who've watched all year. Thank you to all of you guys that have supported the championship all year. Blood, sweat, and tears from all the crew behind the scenes in Drift Masters to make these shows for you guys. And now just 2 battles remain. And it's one of my boys from back in the day, the Irish Drift Championship, Paul McCarthy, going up against an ex-European champion as the last trophy to give away, the 3rd place trophy on the podium. And wow, what a finale. And then James Dean and Zaleski. That's the biggest battle we've ever had in Ireland, ever. Paul McCarthy gives away about 250 horsepower here to Janis Eglite in that E46 BMW. McCarthy's car is in shreds. The back end is gone, the front end is gone, it's overheating. He said there's nothing left in that machine. They're just putting in water as quick as it's coming out of the car. They're putting in a litre of oil every run into the engine because it's almost on its way out. And Janis Eglite, well, he's just been a star today. Latvia's pride restored as he now follows suit of the likes of Christoph Blues and all those guys of just representing that small country of Latvia and that Riga event and what they're able to achieve. all the way. He's been here before, but he's not been on the podium. You're going to have to pull that trophy out of his hands at the end of this one. Ian, we're about to get ready here. Mondello Park, are you ready for the 3rd and 4th place playoff? I think they're ready.
I think they're ready.
I think we're ready. It is the second last battle of the day. McCarthy versus Janis Eglite, ex-European champion, against Paul McCarthy from Tipperary in Ireland in a home-built car. Here we go. Can Janis Eglite get it on the door? He's going for it here, Ian.
Oh, he certainly is, Davis. He almost makes contact with Paul McCarthy. Paul McCarthy fires that BMW in, but look at this. The BMW of Janis Eglite is right with him. Oh, wow, what a dive from Janis Eglite. It looked like he was going to over-rotate, but he stayed in it. McCarthy now on a perfect lead line. McCarthy absolutely dialed, but Eglite now hunting down the side of Paul McCarthy's E36 and pushing him over the finish line.
Oh, that is a clinic from Janis Eglite. Did you see the transition he just pulled in front of the grandstand?
How did he not over-rotate?
How? He went from 90 degrees to 90 degrees and still held it. Incredible. He checked this out.
Watch the dive. Look, absolutely phenomenal stuff from Janis Eglite in that chase position. Paul McCarthy, though, puts down an absolutely perfect lead line. Look at that, almost
How do you hold that?
over-rotated.
How do you hold that? That's insane.
And then this, through the smoke, ready to make a big dive. He sees the door, bam, there he is on it. Squeezes the accelerator, pulls right up on the side of Paul McCarthy's E36 and says, buddy, here I am.
I think McCarthy's done here, Ian. I really do think that
You
is
can
as good as
never
it gets.
count Paul McCarthy
I'm
out of the
telling
fight.
you, that is as good as it gets. He's just put on a clinic. It may just be a bridge too far for Paul McCarthy here.
Paul McCarthy's on borrowed time right now. He says, you know what? If
Look
I
at his
could get-
car, it's over. It's like a kettle.
If I could get on a podium at Drift Masters, what does that say for me as a little guy from Tipperary that builds his own car in his shed at home?
He builds every part of the car. There's even an aftermarket part on the car. There's no way. I think at this stage, Eglite is going to have the pace for him here. I think Janis Eglite is going to prove why he is one of the best in the business. Eglite, but look at McCarthy, he's not letting him go here. Oh, contact!
Wow. Paul McCarthy makes contact with Janis Eglite. McCarthy hops over the curb, he stays in it. He's losing panels as he absolutely fires the car to the door of Janis Eglite. Janis Eglite squeezes the accelerator, trying to pull away, but the man from Tipperary is back on the door again. Another huge dive from Paul McCarthy as he pushes Janis Eglite, Ireland.
It's ridiculous, Ian. There's no way. There's no way that just happened.
Look at the contact. Look at this. Boom.
Imagine you're on the motorway, driving down the motorway at 70 miles an hour, and someone just swerves over and just hits the front of your car and says, see you in a bit.
Keep going.
Keep going. Wow. McCarthy, he's nothing left in him. But look at Eglite's line. It is phenomenal in that lead position. Look at this wall run from Eglite right out there. A little bit wide there in the outer zone. Tags the wall. McCarthy runs into him. There's a cone on the track from where they hit it the first time. There's debris everywhere. There's bumpers. There's piles. Guys, give it up for Janis Eglite and Paul McCarthy. You know that time you needed like the massive big budget drift car to be like right up there in the mix.
Oh no, you don't need that anymore.
No, we just realised you don't
Yeah, you
because
don't
Paul
need
McCarthy's there again. Remember him?
Just a
Remember that time?
turbo and free.
Remember that time he was there all the time, forever, in that top four because of his car that he built in a shed? Oh, you know what? Eglite is so strong here. That is just amazing. His angle, I can't understand how he's holding that car on angle. The style that Eglite brings to this event is just second to none. I can watch him drive all day. It's incredible.
Has he done enough though?
They've both done enough, Ian. Just give them both the trophy.
You can't
give them both the third place trophy and just call it quits.
There's not enough room on that podium for both of those guys. Only one of them can take a step on it.
Paul McCarthy inspecting the back tyres, and that means that he thinks maybe this could be a one more time, but...
I'm going to go out there on a limb. I think this could be a one more time.
No, well, Ian said it, so it's definitely not going to be a one more time. Who wants a one more time?
Paul McCarthy.
Who thinks Janis Eglite's won? Who thinks Paul McCarthy's won?
Well, the home crowd favourite, Dave, gets the loudest
it's in
cheer.
Ireland, Ian, so they're obviously going to be cheering for Paul McCarthy, but they're looking at this contact with the wall from Janis Eglite and seeing look how close they are to each other as they come around that final section. So, yeah, essentially what they're looking for is the wheel off from Eglite between both walls. That's what the judges are looking at now. This outer zone, check it out. Does he put 2 wheels over this outer white line? That would be the question. So, obviously, there's 1 wheel off over the outer line. Oh, it looks like 2 wheels off the track there. That's what it does look like to me. From Janis Eglite in a very strange position, Ian, to put 2 wheels off.
I'm not saying anything, Dave. I'm not even going to hint at a favour.
Really?
No, not going to do it. I'm normally wrong.
Well, judges are making a decision on it. They're having a good conversation about it. This is the bit where the drivers stand awkwardly, just waiting for the result and not sure what to do. So what we're going to do is give them a big cheer from the grandstand for Janis Eglite and Paul McCarthy. Guys, what a day of entertainment these guys have given us. And yes, it's a competition, but Ian, it's also entertainment. That's the point of drifting. It doesn't really make sense. You're not trying to go the fastest way around the track. You're spinning tires, stupid amounts of horsepower, just smashing into walls. It doesn't make any sense.
It's so entertaining.
But it's so entertaining to watch.
It's the most exciting motorsport we've ever witnessed. And right now, Dave, we are witnessing history in European drifting.
I mean, what more can this weekend give us? And I'm still looking just one eye towards that final. So we will have a decision for 3rd position on the podium. It will be Eglite or McCarthy.
Looks like the judges are making their decision. Dave, this could be it.
Yeah, and it's been a long discussion here. Who thinks it should be Eglite? Who thinks it should be McCarthy? Who thinks it should be one more time? Well, doesn't matter what you think. Here we go. Slide it left for Eglite, right for McCarthy. It's for 3rd step on the podium. Kieran goes one more time. We're going one more time! Oh, I can't take any more, Ian. They're killing us here. They're killing us here. Guys, no separating them. We can't take this pace. There's just too much action right now. We got to watch it again. They're going to kill each other. You're putting them in harm's way at this point by putting them back out against each other.
Okay, if we look at the first battle there, Paul puts in a perfect lead run, really, really good. Janis is a great chase, though. You know, the only little tinier I saw is his wheel was off slightly at zone 4, but only for a very short distance. It's a very small mistake, but his chasing was amazing. He timed his transitions perfectly. It was really, really good. So he comes away with an advantage after the first run. And in the second run, you know, Paul has a little bit of an error. He has proximity at the start, but he does go very much mid-track, and he kind of hangs in there for the rest of the run, but it's... At first, we're clearly going to give it to Janis, but when we watch the replay there as they come in out towards on clip 6, zone 6, Janis drops a wheel. It's possibly even 2, and I suppose people in the grandstand probably had a better view of that than us. Maybe it was 2, but with the smoke and everything else, we cannot be 100% sure there was 2 wheels off. It's very, very close to it. So we take that as a big error at the same time going that far off the track at that point. So that the advantage he had gained at that stage, he gives it all the way back and gives it back to Paul. So it squares it up. Advantage to Janis in the first one, advantage to Paul in the second one. Let's see them go again.
Well, let's see him go again, indeed, Dave. And if that wasn't enough for you, if we haven't given you enough action already, you're done. You're finished. He's finished. He's done.
It's too much. It's too much for me.
It's too much of a season for Dave Egan.
It's not even. It's just
today.
What more can they do? They've been smashing into each other. They're hitting each other. The place has gone bananas.
There's still a few panels left to take off.
There's like one panel on Paul McCarthy's car left. That's good. Just one panel. Probably the roof.
Yeah.
And I'm not even confident that's going to make it through the one more time. What an insane weekend of action. Are you guys enjoying it in Mondello Park? It's been fun, right? It's been a lot of fun. We have to go back at it again, Ian. We've watched, and I mean, I'm looking at the way it's stacked up today. nobody knew which way it was going to go. But to have Zaleski and Dean in the final, I mean, I was just looking down that page saying, this is the Irish streak, the closest it's ever been. And remember, no one has ever won here. Will it be an 18-year-old kid from Poland to do it today at the last round of the Drift Masters European Championship? They're both European champions. So don't think this Zaleski guy is just having a good day. He has won events in the past. He's beaten James Dean in the past, and he's won this championship last year. That's all it needs.
That's all it needs.
And with that first corner and the way things go and a wheel drop or whatever can happen, anything can happen. We've seen Dean drop wheels here before and lose finals.
We certainly have, yeah, exactly. And I think it's a bit of redemption for Adam Zaleski. He had a terrible start to the season. Płock was the terrible round for him. He didn't get any points until he started making momentum in the season. That was until round 3 where he nearly got on the podium. I think for me, if he came here, beat James Dean in the final round at the final event and took the 15-year streak, it'd be like, you can have the championship, dude, because I just took way more than that from you.
I'll just, look, obviously, Irish fans are going to want James Dean to win. But guess what James Dean has done a lot of? Winning things. He's won a lot of things. He's won all of the things. But Adam Zaleski has had a bad year. When he was going to that final in Riga, car broke down, snapped the tie rod. Couldn't compete. Went to the final against James Dean. In many people's views, beat him. It called him one more time. Couldn't compete. He has had some of the worst luck of any driver on this grid. He goes to the final against the world champion, if you want to put that. Combine Europe and USA and maybe some other places in between. That's what he's won. That's as good as a world champion. In my eyes, as good as the best in the world. At 18 years of age, to get the opportunity in Ireland, in front of a record attendance, to go up against the world champion as the underdog in many ways, but one with credentials, and take him down and be the first driver in the history of the Irish drifting sport to walk away with that first place trophy. Could there ever be more on the line? Now, everyone's sitting there going, oh, James Dean's going to win because he's the best. That isn't how it works. That's not how it works here in Mondello Park. Jack Shannon's beaten James Dean here. People have beaten James Dean here.
McKeever.
Duane McKeever has not beaten James here. Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's a fact. I'm not getting into Duane's business now, I'm just saying. Not a lot of people have beaten James here, but some have. And Adam Zaleski, in many ways, has beaten him before. He's been there. He's not going to have the mind games of, oh, it's James Dean, it's all over. That's not in his head. He's beaten him before. He thought himself that he beat him at the last round 2 weeks ago. And James Dean's going to line up and go, no, not this guy again. Not this 18-year-old again. Not this guy who's put that much on the line every time we've been against him. Even James surprised that he got the one more time in Germany. That's a lot of pressure on James Dean right now to carry this one home. It's champ versus underdog. It's international driver in Poland taking the streak from Ireland. That's all going to happen over 2 40-second runs. That's everything, all the history for 15 years and 2 runs. That's it. Done.
Gone.
It could be gone, might not be.
It could be gone.
Yeah, it won't be the UK to take it anyways, thank God, Ian.
Well, you won that bet anyway.
I was about to say, I was very worried about Matt Carter today.
Matt Carter was close.
He almost took it yesterday.
Yeah, he was close.
It was an amazing, and Janis Eglite still goes back out now with Paul McCarthy. I mean, Paul McCarthy would love to get a 3rd place trophy from the Drift Masters European Championship. He wouldn't even have dreamed of that. Like, not even in his wildest dream would he have thought this morning. He said to me, look, if I don't qualify, it's not the end of the world. That was his exact quote to me this morning.
Now he's
and
in
here
the
he is in the 3rd and 4th place playoff against Janis Eglite, ex-European champion. Amazing stuff. And if I'm down in the pits, I can hear some of the cars getting ready. I can hear some engines starting to fire up. I can see them heading back to the track right now. And there is Paul McCarthy, and it looks like he has tires and fuel and is ready to go at it again. What a weekend he's had. I mean, it's just a dream weekend for him to finish off. And he's one of those guys that I think in the whole of Europe, you can take a big leaf out of his book. Paul McCarthy said, I'm never going to buy a sequential gearbox or a dog box or a quick change. I'm never going to spend 10,000 euro on my car. I'm never going to do it because I want to have fun in my car, but I'll still be competitive. So he went into his shed and he built his own car, his own arms, his own suspension, his own cage, everything. And here he is against the European champion with 3rd place in the European Championship up for grabs. Janis Eglite, though, I don't know what's going to stop him. He made a silly error on that last run. Other than that, he looks so strong. He is a phenomenal talent, Ian. One of the most entertaining drivers to watch from anywhere in the world. And Janis Eglite is ready. Look, he looks strong and ready.
Yeah, the former European champion pulls to the line. He has all the equipment under his seat. Paul McCarthy, like you said, the home-built car, the underdog. We used to call him the giant killer. Remember those days?
Well, he's got to be the giant killer
back right now.
Yeah, he's got to be the giant killer now if he goes up against Janis Eglite, ex-European champion. Grandstand, are you ready? Here we go. McCarthy in the lead position, Eglite in the chase. Latvia versus Ireland. 1 third place position on the podium up for grabs, and they are off the line. Look at Eglite.
Oh, Eglite's not giving Paul McCarthy an inch this time, but he loses a little bit of ground on initiation. McCarthy fires his car, it's absolutely dialed. Looks like he's wound the grip levels through the roof for this one as Eglite again makes that huge dive into the outer zone. McCarthy, absolutely perfect transition. Eglite, can he get another dive back on the door? He certainly can as he now pushes the back end of Paul McCarthy across the finish line. I don't know if I've got many more of them in me, Dave.
You know what? I was just saying, Eglite just did what we thought he would do. Paul McCarthy's pace through the first 3 zones there was unholy, is the only word I can say, because he has that car wound so tight now it's impossible to drive, and he made it through those first 3 clipping zones. But right now, this is where Eglite shows his class. Look at this, diving in on the door, creating enough proximity to really get the judges questioning, and I think that's advantage Eglite after the first run. McCarthy's on the ropes here.
I think he's on the ropes, but he's still in a good position. Eglite definitely had a very, very good chase run, but now McCarthy sits in that chase position. What can he do as he pulls to the line? Janis Eglite.
The sun gets blocked by the clouds. There's a dark cloud looming over Mondello Park. Is that a sign of what's to come later today? They're off the line, McCarthy and Eglite. And the sun comes back out as they come off the line. Eglite being chased in by McCarthy up over the hill. Look at the proximity.
Oh, wow, McCarthy not moving. Absolutely glued to the back end of Janis Eglite's car. Eglite drops a wheel. Whoa! McCarthy makes contact on transition. Paul McCarthy on the door of the European champion. As they transition back, McCarthy makes a last-ditch attempt to get back into the fight. As McCarthy sits on the door of Janis Eglite.
Couldn't be.
I don't know, Dave.
It's over. Either way, it's over. There is no more one more times. We have a decision one way or the other. But what a battle for 3rd place on the podium that was. I think we should give the biggest cheer of the day to these 2 gentlemen who just put it all on the line. Give it up for Paul McCarthy and Janis Eglite. Well, the judges having a good look at the replay. A decision will be made. Guys, give it up for Janis Eglite. What a hero! I don't know. It has to be decided. One of these guys.
Paul McCarthy's car catching on fire after the final run, or is it just finally?
Paul McCarthy's car.
Yeah, is on fire.
Maybe on fire.
Paul McCarthy's car is on fire. As Paul McCarthy's car catches on fire after
Is
the
on
final
fire
run.
on the finish line. Wow, drama here, guys. Round of applause for the marshals and Paul McCarthy. Quick reactions. I mean, that's all the car had, Ian. It just shows that that's all it had. That car has just given up at the last moment of the season. And what a finale. Warriors on track, Ian. Not even competitors, warriors. Guys, grandstand, you can go louder for Janis Eglite and Paul McCarthy! Well, my voice is nearly there, Ian. We've got one more battle to go.
It's safe to say
But we have a trophy to give out here. 4th place will go to the loser. The winner will take 3rd position on the podium. Will it be the pride of Latvia, the ex-European champion Janis Eglite, Tri-Ace Tires, or will it be the homegrown hero Paul McCarthy in a car he built himself in a shed? That is the reality right now in the top 4 of the European Championship final. Drift Masters this year has brought us out all the stops. It's been one of the most dramatic seasons of drifting anywhere in the world. It's been one of the most incredible seasons. It's got everything you could ever want if you're a drift fan, and it's attracting new drift fans everywhere it goes. It was destined as the Champions League of European drifting, and I think it's delivered on that promise this year. as Paul McCarthy's car is wheeled away from the track. And our judges having a long discussion on this one. So Paul McCarthy's car will remain where it is. He'll be in 4th or 3rd, and Janis Eglite will join him and wait for the final to be finished here, but we've got some business to discuss. So, judges locking in a score. This is nervous times now. This is nervous times for both of these guys to go through a grid of over 50 drivers today to get so close to the podium, 3rd and 4th position on the line. Ian, there's no losers in this battle. There is no losers in this battle. From where I can stand to see Ireland and Latvia go toe-to-toe in the 3rd and 4th place playoff and put on that kind of a show with that much aggression. You think about this championship, you were like, oh, I went to see the drifting in Mondello maybe 5 years ago. You're talking about a 3rd faster every run here. This is higher speed than ever before, more grip, 285 rear tires, semi-slicks on the back of these things, 70, 80 miles an hour on the handbrake, full throttle through the course. The sport has come so far, and it's exciting to see where it's going. And today, the attendance record at Mondello Park broken for a sport that people said wasn't real motorsport, that didn't really have much backing. It was the black sheep. And right now, these guys, these heroes on the track, those are the guys that are bringing these crowds because they are that damn good.
Judges still discussing this one, and reverting back to what you just said, Dave. Do you know what? For me, the whole top 30, the whole grid, 60 drivers this weekend, not one of them doesn't deserve a mention. They are heroes in their own right way. The fans, the crew, the supporters, everybody involved has just been absolutely phenomenal.
Beat the record. So Mondello Park, while we wait the decision, give yourselves, everyone here, give yourselves a round of applause for Irish drifting and Irish-Japanese car culture for bringing this incredible event together, setting standards across the world. Before we get out of here, I also want to can we thank all of the marshals on track, all the crew of the Driftmasters crew. Give them all a big round of applause. They go without glory every weekend, but they keep things moving. The incredible human beings on track from 9 o'clock this morning, keeping this show on the road, and we're almost ready to set the final. We just need to make one small decision, but it's a big one. So, scores are in, locked in. Will it be Janis Eglite? Will it be Paul McCarthy for 3rd step on the podium? One vote for Paul McCarthy. And Paul McCarthy gets the win and goes to the podium at the last round of the Drift Masters European Championship. Could you write it? Eddie Power, you're with Paul McCarthy. What a moment.
Before I talk to Paul McCarthy, guys, everybody in attendance, round of applause for 4th place, Janis Eglite, putting on a real show here this weekend. Paul McCarthy, you have literally been on fire and have tried to drive through every single person you've come up against here this weekend. 3rd place on the podium on home soil for the Drift Masters European Championship. Congratulations, but talk us through how you're feeling right now.
To be honest, I have no idea. I nearly collapsed there. I have the worst jelly legs of all time. But no, it's unbelievable. I know throughout the year I was just making the car better and better and just trying to keep in there. And yesterday, it was an okay result, but to get it in probably one of the biggest events in Europe is just unbelievable and just, I don't know.
What you do on a modest budget is nothing short of incredible, Paul. Could we see you contend for a European Championship next year? Is that something that's on the cards?
If someone wants to give me some money, yeah, no problem.
Guys, taking 3rd place on the podium. Let me hear a wall of sound for Paul McCarthy.
Well, that's it. Third place decided. We're on to the final run of the day, but we're going to go back to the judges quickly.
Yeah, just to quickly go through that one there and to explain our decision on it. Go back to the first run there, and on Paul's lead run, an absolutely fantastic lead run, really on the qualifying line the whole way throughout, and gave Eglite quite an easy line to chase. However, Eglite didn't make the most of that lead line for clips 1 to 4, or outer zones 1 to 4, and we weigh extremely heavily on this part of the track, because if you're on someone's door there, you're really gaining points. If you're not, then you're bleeding him away massively. It is the most difficult part of the track to stick it on someone's door. So he was definitely down at a disadvantage. He does regain proximity for the rest of the run, and comes away with an even then for the first run. You switch him around then, and Eglite definitely didn't have as clean of a lead line as Paul. He wasn't on the qualifying line, and he washes massively and has to almost slow down at outer zone 3 to stop dropping a wheel. Paul maintains proximity from the initiation point. He's on his door. He might be sacrificing angle a little bit to stay on his door, but he maintains that proximity, and he's consistently within our 3 meter rule. So he comes away with a slight advantage for the second run, and Paul takes the win overall.
So we are moving on to our final. Mondello, are you ready? 15 years of history to be decided in 2 runs in Mondello. Will it be the 18-year-old 2017 champion up against the 2018 champion from Ireland, James Deane? The biggest battle in the history of this country is about to happen right now, and the 2 most successful drivers from Ireland and Poland are going at it. We're off the line. Deane to lead in Zaleski.
Smashing through the gears, James Deane. Big initiation, but look at Zaleski right with him as he fires it on the door. Oh, Zaleski understeers and drops off track. James Deane stays in it. James Deane stays in it. Zaleski now needs to get himself back in the fight, but it all could be too much. Deane tagging the wall. Zaleski door on door as Deane takes it across the line.
The speed that Adam Zaleski came in the chase position there was insane. There wasn't a millimeter on the initiation as he threw it into that first corner. Dove on Deane, but got a little bit of understeer in the marbles. Deane not so much, and transitioned back into link engine management corner. Zaleski gets back in the fight. No zeros scored by the looks of it, but a big advantage maybe to Deane. And look at that, Deane flexing the back end of the car off the wall and taking it across the line. Zaleski staying in the fight towards the end.
Zaleski's definitely staying in the fight. As you can see, James Deane making his way back to the start line.
Well, that means there is 1 competitive run left in the Drift Masters European Championship. It started in Poland, it went to Hungary, it went to Riga, it went back to Poland, it went to Germany, and this is it. All done, wrapped up. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the last run of the day? Whoa, whoa, whoa. New grandstand, are you ready for the last run of the day? Everybody standing, are you ready for the last run of the day? Old grandstand, are you ready for the last run of the day? Ireland versus Poland, 1 run, and we are done for the season. Deane, Zaleski, Ireland, Poland, 15 years of history to be written in the next 40 seconds. We are go!
Thumbs up from the drivers off the start line. Zaleski to lead in Deane. What has James Deane got? Zaleski flicks the car in on lock, and James Deane is all over the side of Adam Zaleski. Big translation back from Zaleski, but he's wide. His wheels on track, and James Deane's on the door as he pushes Sestino tyres around the track. Zaleski fires it into outer zone 6, and James Deane is right there. Mondello Park makes some noise.
What a finale, what a finish. Incredible finish to this championship. We are going to the podium. Open the gates, let the people in, surround the drivers. We are going to put it on the podium. You are welcome to get down and join the drivers. Ian, Eddie, what a finish.
What a finish indeed. Just incredible stuff, incredible scenes, unbelievable event. I'm exhausted. It's been a long season. It's been a testing season. But what a way to finish it off. 60 drivers whittled down to 32. 32 down to 2 drivers. Adam Zaleski, your 2017 champion, taking on your brand new Drift Masters European champion, James Deane, for what can only be described, Eddie Power, as the most incredible final we have ever seen.
Well, they say, Ian, build it and they will come. We certainly built it, they certainly came, and there was only one way to seal it. With a final like that, it was nothing short of what everybody in attendance deserved to see. Absolutely epic from everybody involved from start to finish. This weekend has not disappointed. Was this the best drifting event the world has ever seen? You're goddamn right.
Yeah, exactly that, Eddie. You just hit the nail on the head. We said this was going to be the European Cup of drifting, and it did not disappoint. We delivered, and we gave you the best European Drift Championship this world has ever seen. Right now, we're about to top the podium off as we await Dave Egan to get down there to grab the microphone. He's got that all-important decision.
And it might take him a while, Ian, because the crowds here are just insane. Nobody leaving here. Everybody wants to see who's going to take top step on the podium. Will it be Ireland? Will it be Poland? Will it be James Deane? Or will it be 18-year-old Adam Zaleski? One thing is for sure, these two warriors will be fighting it out again all the way through the 2019 season. That's just something to really look forward to.
It certainly is, Eddie, and you know what? I'm already excited about 2019 as I can see Dave Egan take a hold of the microphone. It's been an absolutely emotional day. Dave Egan, you've got the all-important decision. It's over to you.
1, 2. But do indeed, I've got the all-important piece of paper from the judges. First of all, we will announce in fourth position, what a hero he was today. Will you please give it up for 4th position, Janis Eglite! And that means in 3rd position, the giant killer, the underdog from Tipperary. Give it up for Paul McCarthy! And that leaves us with the big decision. 15 years of competitive history coming down to one decision. The 2017 Drift Masters champion against the 2018 Drift Masters champion. And before we announce it, guys, give it up for both of these young men. Incredible European drifters at the highest level. Well, I can announce that taking 2nd position on the podium. Will you make some noise for Adam Zaleski? That means your winner and your 2018 Drift Masters European champion. Give it up for the machine, James Deane. That is all we have for the Drift Masters European Championship finale. What an incredible season. What an incredible championship. What an incredible finish. Give it up for 4th place, Janis Eglite. 3rd, Paul McCarthy. 2nd for Adam Zaleski. And your winner and champion, James Deane. From all of us in the broadcast team, thank you for tuning in from across the world and here in attendance. From me, Eddie, Ian, the judges, the staff, and everybody at the Drift Masters European Championship. We will see you next year for a brand new and improved season. But for now, let the champagne fly.